Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 103rd edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. And these right here are the Chronicles of Kyle Blaqk. It is I, the bearded Brummy Jamie, and joining me, as always, is this handsome fella right here.
Don't call me handsome, it's a Scotsman, Tom. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Chronicles of Podcast. Hit it!
Hey there, you're about to enjoy the Chronicles of Tom and Jamie.
Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Mann.
Hi guys, my name's Annabelle Knight.
Hello, this is Becky Baldwin.
Hello, I'm Chesney.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is Braden from Say We Can Fly.
Hi, my name is Kyle Blaqk. I'm the lead singer of a band called Auger, and you are listening to the Chronicles of Podcast.
Batman takes a shit ton of steroids.
Make popcorn for the raccoon. Avoid caffeine.
Don't think you absolute dick skin is a Batman quote. This week we are joined by Kyle Blaqk. Kyle Blaqk is the frontman and driving force behind dark rock band Auger. Mixing electro beats with heavy guitars, perfect for fans of bands like VMV Nation, Mesh, and other bands like that. Make sure you go and check out their latest single, Before It Began, right now. Right now. On top of that as well, Kyle is also the marketing and development manager for our good friends here at the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. And this conversation is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's really great. Carl, thank you so much for taking the time to come and chat to us. It really meant a lot, obviously, being ambassadors for such a wonderful charity that you obviously work for, and talk all about your amazing band, Auger, which I hope people go and check out, like Jamie said, like now. But maybe listen to us, but listen to the interview first, and then go and check them out afterwards, if that's okay, Carl. Let them listen to you talk first, so they can learn all about you and go, actually, that sounds wonderful. But yeah, this is another great conversation. As always, like every week, we just like to just smash them straight out the fucking park, boys. Jamie!
Yes, sir.
Do you, yes, you. Do you have any final words at all?
Just a big old massive thank you to Kyle for taking the time out and sit and talk to us. This conversation is fascinating, learning about his two different aspects of his life. It's absolutely amazing. You guys are very much going to enjoy this one.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, interviewing this week, the frontman of Auger, it's Kyle Blaqk. So if you're like, it's definitely Auger, they go, Auger, yeah? Like, no, Auger, yeah. Auger, yeah.
That's exactly what happens. The more I try and say, oh, it's Auger, like, oh, yeah, Auger, yes. Like, Auger. I'm like, 9.
Nicht gut.
Nicht gut, yeah. Well, my German is so bad. I have German on, I think, 3 songs, and I'm still not sure to this day whether it's correct, but no one's pulled me up on it. So maybe they're either being really polite or it's correct. And I think it's probably the first one. I did try and learn German for a little while. I can read it pretty well. I'm just not very confident with speaking it.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you've got all those Zs and those weird squiggly like B things with a big line down the end, you're just like, yes, that'll do, I guess.
Yeah, madness.
That's something like your Google translating lyrics.
I've done it before. I Google translated a Rammstein song, and Never Again. And they sing about some pretty bonkers. I mean, it makes sense, but I just sort of made the noises rather than said the words. So I was like, oh God.
That's what we all do. Everyone does that.
It's funny that if someone who speaks German, if you try and sing Rammstein to them, they just piss themselves laughing. It's like you're literally just making sounds, and it's like, but how? Like I'm doing the exact same thing that they're doing, but no, it's terrible. Yeah, I thought I was pretty good at singing along to it. Apparently not.
I just love the idea of you making this noise that's going, fire, fry, bang, bang. And it's,
Yeah,
it makes that really obvious.
I thought they were the words.
Mortar.
Mortar. That's it. Yeah, it's you only have to really know one of the words because they tend just to use one in every chorus anyway. So why learn the rest of it? Just the one's fine.
Yeah, but Sonna will always be an absolute banger. Sorry, we're going to massive Rammstein, but I absolutely love that. It never gets boring, that song, ever. It can never get old.
No. And the second it does, you just have to watch the video, and it's like so well put together that it just revives it, doesn't it? I mean, the cinematography in the video is insane anyway, but that's a really cool one. It's so like nostalgic as well, I think, that one.
I always find it weird. It took their third album to get hit over here. Like, this to the first time, he's like, that's even better than that one, but it got famous. What?
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? My stepdad was into them pretty much from day one, but he reads lots of obscure German magazines. But he did say that they would be big at some point. So this band is going to be massive, and but I don't think anyone predicted quite how big they would be. And I think it's bizarre that they are, because there's so many other bands that are German singing bands that do a really good job as well, that are like minute in comparison. Not even that they're doing all right, but not as good as Rammstein. Like, literally, they're almost unknown in comparison to them, and they're so good. There's one called Ostenfront. There's Icebreaker, who is slightly bigger than them. But if anyone likes Rammstein, you'd love those ones as well. But they kind of bumble in that kind of German scene, which is so big and so well attended, but doesn't exist anywhere outside of Germany. It's really odd. There can be like superstars in Germany that they all know, but we have no idea who they are. It's odd.
It's weird. It's weird how the music industry works.
It is, yeah. But as long as it's working.
That's all about. I think we probably should get this actually started, shouldn't we? Instead of just talking about Rammstein.
You can rely on me to waffle, so I'll shut up and let you do what you need to do.
We like waffle here.
Oh, good. Just not blue.
It's not blue. Yeah. Great voice.
We're all going to Google that now because it's been too long since we've seen it.
Oh,
I can assure you, I'm not. No way.
No, thank you. All good.
Wasn't it something to do with the "I'm feeling lucky" button? There used to be a second button on Google, didn't there? And if you typed it in and pressed that was how you got it. I remember that being a thing. Anyway, I'll shut up.
Very good.
What I'm going to do is I'll just do an introduction, and then we'll bombard the living hell out of your questions, as Tom likes to say. Sound good? Beautiful. Let me get started then. Ladies and gentlemen, today we bring you another wonderful guest and a man with two stories to tell. Today's guest is a frontman and driving force behind the mighty Auger, but also marketing and development manager for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Guys and girls, the man with possibly the deepest voice I've ever heard in my goddamn life. It's the wonderful Kyle Blaqk.
Hello. How you doing? I should probably lower it even more just to live up to the expectation you've just given there. But yes, hello.
It's one of my favourite memories from 2000 Trees. Us all just sat there going, "Fuck me, your voice is deep."
It was like a moment of realization for everyone. I think even I was shocked at one point. Oh yeah, good point. Yeah.
And then when I listened to the band, I was like, "Shit, it gets deeper." Like what?
I make it a challenge in each song. Like, how low can we go now? Eventually, I'm going to be singing to the Worms, and they're going to love it. The Ground's going to vibrate, and they're going to have a rave. It's going to be brilliant.
Isn't the Brown sound in there somewhere as well?
Yeah, I think
the lower you go. Yeah,
the ultimate Brown note. That's what I'm trying to achieve. Like, stop the music stuff. I'm just trying to reach this Brown note status.
But the way we like to kick off all interviews is, and I'm going to ditch this question soon because it's getting on, but how has the last few years been for you with the pandemic and everything? Like, how have the last, especially with the band and stuff, obviously not being able to tour or do anything or go anywhere or say or see anyone, like, how have your last few years been?
It's been strange. I think that's going to be quite a common answer to that, because I don't think it was like anything else. So it's sort of a weird experience that everyone was going through, and yet no one had any experience of going through. So unless there's only 600-year-old people hanging around after the plague. But it was very odd. But I think a lot of sort of up-and-coming bands and smaller bands really suffered from it, because the people who had the following, they've always got that, and they could just come out the other side. But I think for bands like us, it was kind of difficult to sort of and kind of worrying to think, like, where are we going to be after this, when this momentum of, I think we've done 60 shows in seven countries, something like that, up until that point, and then it all kind of stopped, and that was in quite a short period of time. So I tried to keep it going, mainly for my own sanity, by doing live streams, like just acoustic live streams, where I'd set up a microphone and a camera and just sort of chat to everyone, and they became a bit of an ongoing thing. And I think they ended up averaging about 4 hours long, just constant play. The longest was 5 hours and 27 minutes of just people were just requesting songs. I was like, "Can you play this?" Probably not, but I'll Google the lyrics and we'll see what we can do. And it became a bit of a community thing. And I think that if I hadn't done that, then I don't know if I'd been able to come out the other side, in a at the very least exactly where we left off. But I think I possibly was luckily enough to sort of be in a position where we're ever so slightly further on, or that the people that we had connected with up until that point have had some really good memories, and they still bring it up at shows and say, "Oh, I've discovered you on the live streams, and thank you for that." And I think because it became quite a nice sort of hub for people to get together and to catch up with their friends, because often the comments would go on for ages while I was singing, and people just catching up with each other and seeing how they're all getting on. So yeah, I think that was, at least we had something, and I think it brought out a lot of creativity amongst other bands as well, especially the smaller ones, again trying to sort of keep that momentum going, which is so important. But I think it made all the bands either that pulled through it well. It made all the bands stronger because of it, I think, because it gave them that extra bit of time they might have needed to work on that project or work on that song, or it gave that extra bit of time that was needed to plan that next step, or to sort of make people more resilient to this kind of stuff in the future. That, okay, maybe a gig gets cancelled down the line. Well, they've had an entire year of that, so they're more adept at how to handle that. So I think you can only draw the positives from it, because it was a crappy situation, and you can only do what you can to make it as lucrative as possible. So I think everyone did their best, and unfortunately some bands didn't get through it, but luckily loads of bands did. So I'm glad that it's over, though, because it was a bit of especially with a lot of our shows, we do quite a few overseas in Germany and stuff, and it becomes very difficult when you've got to have proof of vaccination and proof of a COVID test within a certain period of time. And it even got to the point we had to video chat the security staff of us taking the COVID tests, improving that we're doing them in order for them to give us the tick mark. And it was stressful. There's even a time when it was during the lockdown, we somehow ended up in Germany, having not done a COVID test or had vaccinations. So I don't even know how we managed that, but it was just a mad period of time. I think it was just bizarre.
That's great. How the hell did you get into the country out even? Did you swim? That's what you did. You swam in, didn't you?
It was yeah. Well, I can't swim, so I don't know how far I'd get by doing that. It was, I really don't know. We were in the airport, and we were walking down this long corridor, and there were all these polizei stood, and they were all kind of with their arms folded. They were checking everyone who came through, and we didn't have. It wasn't an essential journey, definitely. I mean, we were playing music. You can argue if that's essential, but it wasn't an essential journey. We had no family there, no vaccinations yet, because we weren't old enough, and we didn't have any proof of a test, and we had to hand all these documents in. And I just came up with the most brilliant bullshit I've ever come up with, and it worked somehow. And I think I did it by I handed them something. It was like a bit of paper that said, I don't know what it said that we had approval from someone or something like that, and then a hotel reservation, and I handed that to them, and then just kept talking. So then they were kind of they didn't really know what they're looking at, but they kept talking. That, oh yeah, you just go on, and I had to pull that trick like 4 times to get past everyone, because there was obviously the Poland side and the border control, and then there was coming back. It was very stressful, but we made it, and it was a good show as well.
I mean, what a weird kink that is, that they want to watch take a COVID test. Do you know what I mean? So the security guys going, yeah, takes a test. Yeah, you go there.
Oh yeah, right up the nose. Yeah, you get that. Trying not to sneeze or gag. Yeah, it was very odd. It was really, really weird. And but I had to do it as well. Flying over to America, like after the COVID restrictions were lifted, they still required you to do it. I think it's just because people were kind of taking them, and if they came back positive, or they'd have swapped it out with another one that they had because there was no real way of checking it. So I get why they do it, but to have a video meeting like with the guy with a suit on, like watching me do it, and I'm like, I kind of didn't want to do them properly anyway because the back of the throat thing I can't stand. So I was like don't work me doing it. It was a weird time, and I swear they filmed it.
Oh, 100%.
Probably.
Yeah, they're watching that later on.
What do they do for the what do they do for the results? They just have like awkward conversation for half an hour while you're waiting. Like what?
Yes, that's exactly what they do. Yeah, but I think they for about 5 minutes they wait, and then they put you in like a holding thing whilst they do everyone else, and then they come back but in that time you could just swap it anyway. So I don't really understand. I'm sure it's one of those sort of things where they thought of the idea and then they didn't really think about anything else after that. And they thought, oh, it'll do. It has some holes in it, but it'll be fine. Which sums up a lot of the pandemic, I think.
Oh yeah.
Wow, yeah. Crazy time. Crazy time. But a question I like to ask all of our guests, though, take us back to when you were a young wee lad, as we like to say. What do you originally aspire to be when you grow up? What were the dreams of young Master Kyle?
Young Master Kyle. That's one of the things is totally unrelated, but I loved it when posts used to come through. And I think before a certain age, you're not Mr. You're Master. That's so much cooler than being Mr. But anyway, I think like a lot of kids, I was sort of endlessly aspirational. Like I just wanted to be everything and all at the same time. Like I wanted to be a rally driver. I wanted to be an astronaut. I mean, who didn't want to go to space? I never, but bizarrely, one of the things that was never on there was a singer. That never crossed my mind that was something I wanted to do. I liked making music. I was making music from like 6 or 7 years old on a game called Music 2000, if you remember that thing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, what a game. It was just a load of whale noises. Basically electronic Gojira. It was brilliant. But yeah, so I sort of did that, but it was never like a thing that I wanted to do. I think I bizarrely the thing that I wanted more, and if you know someone's going to call me up and offer me it, I wanted to be a rally driver. I think racing and cars and motorbikes are like a thing that I really like. So I'd still want to be a rally driver now, if I'm being quite honest. I'm sort of like living in denial because I also want to be a footballer, but I realize I'm like older than most of the England team, which is very depressing. So, but in my mind, I can still be a footballer. And when I hit 35 and I'm no longer eligible to be a footballer, I'm going to be very depressed. I could have done that. I'm going to be the old man who's like, well, I could have been a professional, you know.
Never give up on your dreams. Never give up.
I know, right? That's what I tell myself.
We'll see you turn up to one of these music festivals in a rally car one day.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
But to do what you do, not only in the world of music, but in the world of Sophie as well, you obviously need to have a love for music and the world of rock and metal, especially. Where did that love of music come from?
It was helped by my mum and my dad performed from before I was born in a goth band called Playful Dawn. And it was all sort of through the 90s, and they were sort of alongside Garbage and bands like that in the magazines and stuff. So it was kind of my dad was a music producer when I was growing up. So like it was just such a thing that music was a part of our lives. So there was a lot of listening to it and a lot of being exposed to all sorts of different bands. And then I sort of personally discovered some bands that I liked based on what my dad had lying around, and then would sort of go to comfort sale, buy CDs or vinyl of bands that I thought would be quite interesting, because I'd look at the back and go, oh, I like that song. So I'll buy the whole thing, and it's like a compilation. There might be stuff on it, but then I'd run into my dad's room like half an hour later go, oh my God, have you heard of Kate Bush? She's amazing. And he'd then be like, well, duh, yeah. And then I'd sort of mention Duran Duran, and before you know it, I realized that actually we have a lot of music stuff in common. So yeah, it just became a thing where then my dad and my mum would start recommending music, and then I would start listening to them. And my stepdad bought me this really pivotal moment. I went into the HMV with all my pocket money, and I spent like £27 on this DVD, thinking it was music videos of like bands that I liked, and it turned out to be like more behind the scenes of festivals. And I was so disappointed because I didn't want that. I wanted to watch music videos. And my stepdad took it back and returned it for a DVD called World Shut Your Mouth. And it's basically just, I think it's like 20 odd songs and all their music videos for it. But it's just an absolute banger of a playlist. Everything from Propaganda to The Mission to The Cure, and it just had all these amazing songs. I think that was like the defining moment of everything that I like musically, because it was such a wide spread of different genres, and even had some like Guns N' Roses on it, which kind of got me into more of the rocky stuff. And yeah, and then I had Ozzy Osbourne on it as well, which was like a big influence of mine growing up. So yeah, it's sort of that sort of like really spearheaded my love for that kind of music, and already being in quite a musical family as well.
But they like influences for you then, like the sort of more moody type, like The Cure, that sort of thing. Is that where the influences come from, or is it someone completely separate?
I mean, it's basically everyone and anyone. There was like a phase where it started off weirdly with punk music, and I loved like really sort of hardcore 60s, 70s, early 80s punk. And then that transitioned into Ozzy Osbourne. Then there was a small obsession there. And then I kind of just developed it from there. And then Ozzy Osbourne became The Cure, and then The Cure became The Mission, and The Mission became Mesh, and then Mesh became Rammstein, and then it just sort of it went in so many different directions. Then I discovered all the 80s stuff, and then got obsessed with Marillion. And I found Clutching at Straws album, which is just an absolute masterpiece. So it's sort of yeah, that's why, I mean, the music that I do with Auger is so varied. We've had to call it genre fluid because it doesn't fit into any genre, because it's basically whatever I want to write. And my influences are pretty much everything. Like I have a playlist that has like Scooter as track one, and then it has Slow Dive, some shoegaze music, and then it has like, I don't know, Gojira on it, and then it has, you know, Rum DMC. Like it just goes through. So the music just becomes a sort of amalgamation of whatever I've just been listening to, essentially.
That's amazing.
You were listening to those bands then, and you said Mesh, and like I just had this sudden hit of nostalgia of a song called Little Missile by Mesh, which I was obsessed with in like 2005,
right, okay,
2006.
You know who Mesh are, because that is impressive. Like, because this is one of it blows my mind every time. So when I was growing up, I obviously had these CDs. I had Iron Maiden, I had Ozzy Osbourne, and I had Mesh. And I had Mesh because my mum is a fan. She supported them a few times early on, and so I had the CD, and I was under the impression that this band Mesh were just as big as Ozzy Osbourne and just as big as Iron Maiden, because I was 7, 8 years old, and they were the CDs that I had. And then I find that actually they're kind of like an underground sort of gothic band, and I'm like, no way. And then no one that I speak to in high school or college knows who they are. And I'm like, but they're so good. Which is just baffling. So to find people who also like Mesh, the chances are like, you know, the goth scene essentially, even though they're not a goth band, but it's quite a small scene. But we got to support them in March 2019, I think, and I've seen them a few times as well, and I just died meeting them. They're super, super nice people. And Richard he always comes to our Bristol shows. He'll be there in October as well for the Bristol show. Then he always pops down and says hello. So yeah, Mesh, brilliant band. It's so good.
I can literally just remember that one song, and it's absolutely great. I'm gonna have to go listen to that after I've done this. I haven't heard that in years.
Go for it. It's everything that Depeche Mode do well, but like blended with everything that you love from that sort of late 90s dance music, and then this sort of more contemporary edge, and his voice is brilliant. Like, play me a bad song by Mesh, and I'll give you a tenner, because there isn't one, and I don't have a tenner.
So when did that fandom go from God, I love this music, to I need to play this music, I need to learn how to do this myself?
So yeah, it was a weird one. I think my biggest sort of inspiration that got me into actually the writing side of things was my uncle, Ed, who played a lot of acoustic guitar and an amazing voice, and I sort of copied him sort of for a while. And then it wasn't until I was 17 that I actually sang in front of anyone and showed anyone a song that I'd written. And I hadn't even sang in my own room. Like, the whole house would have to be empty, the door would have to be closed, and I'd have to be under the covers, and I'd still whisper to myself, like no one had ever heard it. So it was actually quite late on. I was probably 16 that actually, sang in front of people, and then it sort of spiraled into this sort of, oh wait a minute, this is actually really fun, and writing music is easy, or at least getting my ideas down is a really kind of simple process. I just have to, materialize it through a software. So when I started to discover that, it sort of snowballed, and there's an EP out on Spotify that I did when I was most of the songs I wrote when I was 16, and that was sort of my first sort of entry into it. But it was just kind of making it up, and I sort of always said that I would make music that I wanted to listen to because it didn't exist, and that's sort of the philosophy that I've always gone for, because I obviously love all this sort of music and I love all these random genres, and I kind of want to hear what it sounds like when I put all those two together, and I would be the one that sings it. So then I end up making music that I like to listen to, which it sounds very egotistical that I like to listen to my own music, but that's why I write it. So it's always very bizarre when other people sort of pick up on it and quite enjoy it. And hopefully, because I've got such a broad music taste, it's a good one, and that would be why people like it. I don't know. It's a theory.
Are you totally self-taught singing?
Yeah, and I had some guitar lessons as well. First when I was, I think, 8 years old, 7 years old, with a guy called Nigel Murgatroyd, which is just the coolest name ever. I mean, he sounds like a transformer. Murgatroyd. I mean, what is that? So that was like in primary school. So I had a couple of lessons, and then again with a guy called Justin when I was for about a couple of years. But outside of that, everything from the production to drums, guitar, bass, piano, singing, it's all sort of self-taught, or rather made up on the spot. I'm just bullshitting essentially, and it's working so far. But don't tell anyone that I can't actually play.
That's amazing, though. Fair play. You've managed to teach yourself all these things. But what was the original plan? You said you wanted, was it singing that you originally wanted to do, and the rest just sort of came out of necessity to make this music, or did you want to? I want to try listen.
I mean, with Auger, it was actually a joke. I know, and it's great. It's the best joke I've ever made. And it was basically, I had a guitarist friend of mine called Kieran who founded the band with me. We were in this theatrical metal band, and we were mixing the demos that we'd recorded in the studio, because we didn't like the mixing that the studio done. So it's like, oh, I can mix it, it's fine. No idea what I'm doing. So I'm kind of just twisting knobs and doing it. And then I discovered that he's a fan of Fields of the Nephilim and Sisters of Mercy. But I'd already known him for a couple of years. I was like, if you know who Sisters of Mercy are, you are a friend of mine. So we ended up talking, and I told him about the goth scene, because my mum obviously was incorporated into it. And I showed him this band called Blutangle, and I played him a couple of tracks. And we thought, you know what, we could probably write this. So we did, and we wrote, essentially, it's not prepared by Mesh, and then mixed with like a Blutangle kind of vocal. And we wrote this song called My Guardian, and it became this like full-length song. We did it quite quickly, and I sent it off to my stepdad, who's been managing bands for years, and he said, this is actually quite good. And it's like, do you have another one? So we're like, yeah, we can write another one. So we just ended up just writing song after song, and then before we know it, he's like, do you have a name for this project? So I me being me, I sort of search up like what's industrial. Like mining is industrial, so I went on a mining glossary, A to Z. And literally the first thing at the top was Auger, because it begins with A. So I was like, that'll do. That sounds kind of German. So I sent that over to him. And the next thing I know, we have a tour. And he's like, oh, yeah, I just got you all these shows. And I'm like, okay, so I guess we have to like play these now. And then that's literally how it started. So it was sort of an accident, but quite a good accident. And it just sort of, I think we had a first album. We started writing it essentially in June. We did our first show in July, and by the end of July, we had the album finished, and it came out in September. So it was like very much a very, very quick thing. Apparently, I worked pretty fast, which is good.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, you couldn't make it up, could you?
It's like the most successful practical joke ever.
I know, right? Yeah, normally my jokes go down like a lead balloon, so I was pleased with that one. The only thing is now I have to listen back to the first album, and I'm there making this weird Chris Pole Blutangle voice that is not my voice. and I'm sort of going like making all these weird noises. And I'm like, oh God, what was I thinking? And that exists now forever online. So I mean, I guess the joke is on me eventually, but it got us a few bookings.
Did it not develop from that though? Obviously,
Yeah.
because obviously you only get better, don't you? The more you do, the better you get.
Yeah, absolutely. And from that point, we had a great foundation to sort of start off. Okay, we've got a band now, and we can sort of start to really work in our influences and write. Oh, we were always writing music we wanted to listen to. We still loved it, but I was able to drop this kind of voice and sing like I wanted to sing. And then yeah, we ended up sort of starting to enjoy the writing process even more, and that's why I mean, in from 2018, 2019, and 2020, we had an album every single year. So we were just pumping out songs because we just loved doing it. And when you have a good idea and you love that idea, it tends to happen pretty quickly. So yeah, we started to sort of write more, and we've been quite prolific ever since. So yeah.
Lyrics wise, then, are they, because you were smashing out an album like on the year by year, you're just pumping out because you were enjoying it. Are the lyrics quite personal to you, or are they more like story based?
So the first album was story based because we had this idea, this whole mining thing. As much as it was a joke, it had a bit of substance to it, and it was like a conceptual album where the awakening is what it's called, and it's like the awakening of this beast called the Wendigo, and it's about all these miners who are deep in the mine, and this Wendigo comes out and starts eating everyone. It's like this whole sort of concept. It's really cool, and so that all the stories were like this sort of head miner called August, and how his wife had went missing, and it was like all these attacks going on in his mind, and he had to shut it down. So the whole album is like a progression through that story. So yeah, writing that one was quite. It was a nice flow to it because we knew what was happening next in the story, so we're able to kind of string it together. But then from that, a lot of the vocals that I do and bizarrely, they're actually sort of freestyle. They're sort of, in order for me to write lyrics, I have to have a melody. I can't do it without a melody 9 times out of 10. So I sort of write the music and then I sort of press record and I literally just hold the microphone. This one is the crappy little microphone. I hold it and I just sort of freestyle a melody so that I can write lyrics to it. But then what ends up happening is I start actually just come up with the words. So, you know, for My Guardian, for example, the whole chorus was kind of just written on the fly. And it was only a couple of words that were changed here and there. So it's almost like subconsciously I know what I want to write and it sort of comes out. Or I will come up with a line that I quite like freestyle and I'll base the song around that line and almost like put my own experiences to it. But a lot of them, after that first album, a lot of them are very personal sort of anecdotes or personal experiences, and I try and keep them relatively sort of positive, or when they're not so positive, more optimistic. So even if they are like sad lyrics, they've got a sort of sense of optimism to them. It's sort of had this feel good factor to them as well. And there's a couple of songs. There's a song called When We're Apart, that's about a family member who's quite ill. So there's a couple of songs in there that are like very meaningful, and then some other songs that like someone tells me a story of a personal experience, and I'll try and embody that into a song because it inspires me to do so. So someone that I'd met at the show, she told me about how they'd lost both their parents, and it was quite early on, and they'd had to sort of raise their younger sister and all this sort of stuff. And it was such like a hard hitting story, and they were so positive, and I couldn't believe it. And I was like, how can you have this such a wonderful, optimistic and positive attitude, like given all this crap you've been through? I mean, I would be destroyed after that from such a young age. So moments like that inspire, like I'll come up with a little line that kind of sums that up. And then the song sort of breeds from that. So I like to sort of take on people's experiences because it's nice to sort of include people and to, you know, it's they might never know it's their story, but it's nice to know that you can associate a story to it. And I think if you write, I always say, like, if you need to, when you perform something, you have to be passionate about it. I mean, it's obvious, but the more passionate about it, the better it comes across. So if you're writing meaningful lyrics and writing songs that you believe in and that are personal, well, then you can deliver them with more genuine passion, and therefore people feed back from that. So even if it isn't about their situation, they empathize and they find meaning within it to apply it to their situation. So it becomes this kind of toing and froing thing between the audience.
That's beautiful. I love that. Like you said, music is very much up to your own interpretation. Obviously, this is what the artist meant, but it doesn't mean that that's the same way it makes you feel. So that's beautiful.
Absolutely. And we've had quite a few stories of people coming up and saying, I mean, really, really hard-hitting stuff. One person had went through a divorce and was, thinking about, they're contemplating their place on Earth and thinking, like, are they really welcome amongst everyone? Not to say that they were at the point of being suicidal, but it wasn't far off. And for whatever reason, they discovered our song, and there were lines in it that just spoke to them in that moment, and they've thanked us for that. And it's like you can't ever underestimate or fully appreciate how impactful a song might be, even if you've not written it for that purpose. Just write it true, and people will find their own sort of comfort within it. And the extent of that you can't even measure sometimes. So yeah, I think that helps. Knowing that helps to be more passionate about what is being written, I think.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. I love that. But considering you only started in 2017 as practically a practical joke, you've had phenomenal success. Like, released 4 albums, all of them have gone in the Dutch alternative charts, played in over 9 countries. What was it that got you there so fast, especially over in Eastern European? In fact, do you even know what it was that got you out there and known?
I mean, I don't, obviously I don't know. It's one of those things, is like, I don't know and I do. Like, I'm a firm believer that everything you put into something, you get out of it. And if you're honest with yourself and you have put everything into it, you will reap the rewards from it. So with that sort of mindset, every single show I go into with the mindset, like, how can I blow everyone away? And how can I, not that it's a competition, but if I am supporting a band, how can I match their level, or how can I one up them? Not to be petty, not to be competitive, just from a self sort of point of view of wanting to be as best as I possibly can be. And if I put everything in, you can get like a 30-minute slot sometimes to tell your entire story, and to get people who are there in that moment and will never be there again to be on board with you and to download your music or listen to it or come on board. It's such a short window. So I've always put every single ounce I've had into it. And even at the early stages when I didn't know what I could put into it because I was inexperienced, to the point now where I've learned a lot and I know the sort of key things that need to happen, I still put everything into it. And because of that, I think the energy that we give off is sort of received. And then by receiving it gives us more energy, and it becomes this kind of big euphoric thing. And yeah, it's just a lot of sort of hard work on that regard. But then also, I can't deny the fact that Stephen, like my stepdad, who manages us, is just an absolute just godsend, because he has been doing this for 40 odd years, and we're basically one of only 2 bands. The other band is Novus, who's my mum's band that he manages. So, but he puts so much energy into us, and he has so many good contacts. And I mean, you can get all the best shows in the world. You can get the headline slots wherever. It doesn't mean you'll pull fans. It just means you got there. So, almost to like pay him back for getting us those slots, I want to make sure that I do his best job as possible to make sure that opportunity is shown, that I appreciate the fact that you've given me this opportunity. And I'm going to show that by making sure that they want us back, that they want to book us for the next thing, almost to like pay him back for the effort that he's put into it. So as much as we've been given a lot of great opportunities, I've maximized every single one of them. And if I haven't, I know where I've let the ball drop, and I know where to pick it up for the next time, sort of thing.
Is absolutely amazing. Like, that is so incredible. And I can imagine that the feeling of people singing back to you must be unreal as well, alongside the fact that obviously people resonate with your songs, so however they resonate with them, like saving people's lives and that sort of thing. Obviously not through your own. Yeah, I'm just gone, I've just said, you know what I mean? Yeah. I couldn't, my brain was going like 50,000 times a minute, and I was going, and I just followed my words. But to have people sing back at you must be an unbelievable feeling as well.
Yeah, it never ceases to shock me when people start to sing back the songs. Like whether it was on our first sort of I mean, I write pretty catchy choruses, and I do my best to write them catchy. So from quite early on, we had a couple of people kind of singing back, and it was just mind blowing. But we're doing like little shows now, and I'm singing the chorus of like Sound of the Machine, and I genuinely can't hear my own voice over the voice of the first sort of four rows, and it's just like, what is this? Like, this is mad. This is absolute madness, and I love that, and I want more of that. Like, I want that on a catastrophic arena stadium scale. Like, I don't. That's brilliant. I love those shows. I just want more of that because it's almost addictive when people sort of sing along to stuff, and you can see how happy it makes them, and see that they're dancing. And people even said that they don't normally dance, and for whatever reason, in a certain song, they kind of did a little bit. And I'll make sure I go down off the stage afterwards and make a point of it. It's like, I saw you dancing, like, good on you for doing it and going out of your comfort zone. It just brings people. It's like a proper community thing, and it's so good.
That's it's funny. Before we started this, we were talking about Rammstein and how us as English people singing their lyrics, we're not getting them right. No, we think we are, but we're not. So I'm wondering if like your German fans are singing your lyrics. They think they've got them right, but they're
just making noises. Yeah. Well, unfortunately for us, and what makes us feel bad is the fact that they can probably all speak English and German, and we're speaking one language. But no, there is a fan that always comes to our shows, and we've done a show live for the first time, and no one's heard it, and they're kind of moving their lips almost to the words, and it's like, have you heard this before? But they're actually just kind of feeling it, and they're kind of just making the mouth movements, and it's like, it almost throws me off because I'm going to start singing what they're singing. It might just be
with the one random word they might know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be great. Here, like...
That's it. And it's always here. Why is it always here? It's always the lyric. I think because it ends a lot of things, isn't it? It's like the word tonight is always at the end of every chorus. Like tonight.
Phenomenal. Is there a Smashing Pumpkins song called that? Tonight?
There is, yeah, tonight. It plays on the video. It's great. It's the Voyage de la Lune by Georges Méliès. It's the history of cinema. It goes through all the old French cinema iconography. It's brilliant. Really cool video.
I had no idea about that.
He looks like Gerard Way. He's the spitting image of Gerard Way in that video. It's weird. Like, you look at that video, and I think it's only in that video because obviously he's very bald and Gerard Way isn't. But they honestly, like, you can't unsee it now I've said that.
I can sort of see what you mean. If you think of Corgan's face and you think, I can sort of, in my head, I can sort of picture it. I have to look at it properly, obviously.
Check the video out. And someone's even done a side-by-side comparison, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, it's weird. It's uncanny.
I'll have to go look at it. Before we move on from the stuff with the band, there is something I noticed on your website that I wanted to ask you about. You talking about the latest album, Nighthawks, and you said, like, in so many ways, it's like it's your first album, not your fourth. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, because we developed so quickly, like, because we did the first three albums so quickly, we're constantly just writing, obviously for the love of it and for the fun of it. And the styles have always been very varied from song to song, but the Nighthawks album was very much, it felt like it was all the components that we'd loved from all the different albums blended into what's finally sort of categorized as like the Auger sound, whatever that is. It just felt really consistent, and it felt like almost that the other three were kind of like demos and experiments that just so happened to be albums that came out quickly. And this was like the final product of those. And yes, there are some things. It's not quite as dancey as the previous one, or not quite as heavy as the second album, but it just draws upon all the right influences. And I just think it's a real solid album. And it's a real labor of love as well. Like, making that was just like, I really sort of took my time with it, and everything from the album itself with the music to the artwork as well. So inside the CD is like a 12-page booklet, and each of the songs are represented with a piece of art. So there's a piece of artwork that someone's done based on the song title along with the lyrics. So, and it's all this kind of virtual gallery, again, to sort of make this sort of American art theme that the album encompasses to make it like a real unit. It's almost like the final product. That's kind of what it felt. It was the most complete sort of package of an album, and then having tracks like Oxygen on it that have done very well, and other tracks like Forever Mine and stuff that really sort of defined our sound. It was a real transitional step to do that, and it's a personally, but my favorite album that we've done.
And then you had a track with Chris Helms from Land of the Lost as well. Called Hold On. Obviously, and seeing him on Eurovision must have been mental. So
it was very hard. Yeah, we toured with them in 2018 in the UK. We did 5 dates with them, and then we ended up doing a show in Malta with them, and then I think another one in Germany with them. So we sort of crossed paths quite a few times, and yeah, I reached out with a song that was very different to what we normally do. It was very Lacuna Coil, a little bit heavier than our normal stuff, and yeah, he took it on board and actually did more than I thought. I thought he was going to sing it, but actually he kind of changed the chorus around to sort of make it sound more like a duet, and he gave me some suggestions of what to do, and it's really nice about it. But it's very odd to think that that song was there, and there he is, in front of 200 million people being streamed on Eurovision. It was a bit odd, but obviously great, and I think it really put them on the map. And helped put the scene on the map a little bit more as well. I say these bands in Europe sell bigger like arenas and venues than bands do with 4 times the followers in this country. Like someone with 1 million monthly listeners and God knows how many followers could sell out like an club academy venue, maybe 200-300 people. And yet the bands over there with like a tenth of that, less than that, in Germany that are selling out 1,500, 2,000 capacity, like mini sort of arenas and stuff. And it's crazy because it all exists and they're all actually there to be seen, but it exists in this kind of underground sort of gothic-y scene. And so that kind of exposure to Eurovision, I think, has help trickle down a little bit into some of the larger artists and help sort of bring their profile up a little bit, which is all really good because it is a small scene. So it's the more people it can get, the better, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I went to see it. I mean, I don't know why. I went to watch Puddle of Mud in 2016, and the support band. Well, he's off his tits on drugs. Who just sang the same lyric over and over again. But anyway, the support act was a band called Unzucht, who are from Germany.
Yeah, we would play with them.
Phenomenal. Absolutely love those guys. Yeah,
and they are super nice people. I bumped into them. We played with Lord of the Lost. We did it was Lord of the Lost and then ourselves in the garage in London, and they were just super friendly people. But yeah, amazing stuff, and stuff that that so many people would enjoy, but somehow because it exists in this little bracket, no one's kind of heard of it outside the scene, and it's crazy to think that because people would love them. People would actually love them over here. Yet we've played with bands like that who have come over here that are playing really well, headlining festivals. They come over here and it's been like 30 tickets to the Camden Underworld. They've really struggled. It's like 2 different worlds. It's crazy.
You reckon the British are quite? I don't want to sound like a prick, but like are quite snobby with their sort of music. Like it's either British or American, and then they're not interested if it's somewhere else.
I think there's a whole debate about this, but I think with the UK crowd, it's a great crowd, and there's a lot of people out there. But it's very much they stick to bands that they know, or there's a sense of it has to be an occasion to see something. So it has to be a band that's supporting a much bigger band, and they just have to be there for because of this sort of need for an occasion. They're less susceptible to just going out and seeing music. Whereas in Europe, you have people just going to shows for the hell of it, just to discover new music. And it doesn't matter how big or small you are. They're there from the very, very start of the show, and they're watching every single band, and they're getting the merch, and they're really investing into them. So it's not to say that one's better than the other. It's just 2 entirely different sort of markets and different types of people, I think. And they're so open for it in Europe. They really are. And it's great. I mean, when you've got the UK crowd behind you, they're very loyal and they'll stick with you for every show you do. But the European crowd definitely give a lot smaller bands a much bigger chance by showing up for them, even if they are playing at 4 o'clock when the venue's just open. They'll be down there at the front watching them, and they'll buy the t-shirts, and they'll want to meet the band and stuff and want everything signed. So they like to get involved from a very early stage, which is really great, especially for bands starting out.
Yeah, you worded that beautifully because I butchered that at the beginning. So thank you for saving me there.
That's all right. It's all about being diplomatic, because I don't want to say that one crowd's better than the other, because it's all very different. But there's certainly things to enjoy about both audiences.
It's funny you say that, because we had a similar story when we were interviewing bands at 2000 Trees. The name of the bands escaped me for some reason, but we were talking to them and they were saying they play in Germany. And they've had fans come up to them and say, I didn't really like your music, but I like that you tried, so I brought your t-shirt.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. They will, and they like physical stuff. They like to hold something from the band and to support, and they will follow. Like, we have some fans that, of course, like follow us around, but we know those fans also follow some bands around that have hardly, they're one of their only fans. So there's only maybe sort of 20, 30 people that go to their biggest show. But these people that we know will follow them all around the country. We'll drive hundreds of miles to see them. And so there's that sort of level of, there's no pretentiousness over the fact that, they don't have 100,000 followers on Instagram, so they can't be a big deal, or they must be crap. They don't care what their follower numbers are or how many people are showing up. They're there because they like it, and they don't need an occasion to be there or to enjoy it. They're there because they want to be.
Yeah, that was as everything unfolds, Jay. But going back to Auger, I just want to say "City Never Sleeps" is my favorite song. The opening song on that album, I absolutely love it.
Glad you like
it. Was
it.
Just no, there's not at all. I always like to. There's always one.
I'm glad you picked up on, because that's a song I think that I put it first because I knew if it was anywhere else in the album, it wouldn't get listened to. So by putting it first forces people to listen to it, because I think it's a very visual song, and it's just big, and I love it. It's so much fun live as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. But talking of live, you've just announced a tour.
Yes.
Minutes
ago.
Literally like an hour before this, I think it was.
I was like, oh shit, I've got that to post that. I'll do it
now. It's called Before It Began, but the dates are nuts, because it's not like England, Scotland, then Germany, Sweden. It's like bit of England, a little bit of Sweden mixed in. There's Germany at the top, then there's England again, then it's Scotland, then it's England again, then it's Germany again. You're like, well, hang on, that's a lot of flying. I mean, I'm not like shitting on it or anything, but like dates wise, isn't that a bit to have to fly to come back to go back again? Is that a bit frustrating, or is it that's just how the cookie crumbles because that's when the venue was available?
It's at the end of the day, it's only like an hour-long flight, or it's only like it's not a huge like going to Hamburg. It's possibly like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Airport. It's not like a huge part of the day. It does jut around. There's a lot of that is down to festivals. So the Sweden is a festival that we're headlining. Yeah. So that's sort of falling in between the dates. So there is a little bit of toing and froing there. But I mean, nothing makes you feel like a rock star than getting on a plane every 5 minutes. So, but yeah, it is just how it happens, and we tend to do sort of festivals amongst, and then like a group of sort of, there'll be like 4 or 5 dates that are literally all in a row, and they're the ones with Solar Fake. I think they're sort of the 19th through to sort of the 22nd of October. So that's like the chunk of it. But the rest of them, I think all of them apart from one, are festivals. So it's just how they fall, whether just like single day festivals in the venue. There's a lot of that in the goth community. There's a lot of like 1 day events where it's like bands from sort of 4 o'clock to the end of it. So there's a couple of those that we're doing in headlining, and then the rest of them just kind of jot about. So it always looks like they sort of dart around a little bit, but I guess it's even more crazy when you consider that I'm obviously going to be working in between all of them as well. So it's sort of like, there's the 9 to 5, and then get on a plane and then do the thing and then come back, and it's all a bit of fun. I'm glad that I'm young, and then I can sleep well on a plane, and that it doesn't affect me too much. Because I think if I was 10 years older, even, I think I'd struggle.
I mean, I know the time differences are like an hour and stuff, but it can really fuck you up, because obviously You fly back and it's like an hour or two ahead, and you come back and you go back an hour or two, and you're like, well, hang on a second. Like, oh, don't when you go to America, it's like, don't sleep until this time because otherwise your body clock will be, you know what I mean? So
but luckily that isn't so bad when it's Europe. It is only just a couple of hours here. I think the one recent mistake that I made, I mean, it was fun because it was a road trip, but I drove from Blackpool to Leipzig, which is so far. Like, it's so far. Like, it's just to get to Folkestone, it's 7 hours, but then to get all the way through France, through Belgium, through the Netherlands, and all the way through Germany to the other side, and then on the we did it in 2 trips because we rehearsed in Eindhoven and stayed overnight in Essen in Germany. So we cut that down. But on the way back to the day after the show in the morning, I set off at 9 and I got back on English soil at 9 p.m. And then at 1 a.m. Sorry, it was 9 p.m. we got to France. So it was 1 a.m. by the time we got to it. Took like a full 16 hours and then like a further 7 hours of driving just to get back home. So maybe that's a little bit more stupid than the flying thing. I think once you've done that, the flying thing's fine.
yeah. I bet it was gorgeous traveling through Europe though.
Oh yeah, it's great fun. I mean, and the Autobahn in Germany as well. So it's a little bit of chance to see what the top speed of your car is in a very safe environment. And yeah, some great roads on there. And I love driving anyway, so I can't really.
All about practice for that rally driving future of yours. That's all it is.
Absolutely, yeah. Unfortunately, there's no off-road sections, but I guess we had drums at the back, so that wouldn't have been quite as fun.
So let's you mentioned it. Let's talk about the day job, shall we? Before we talk about what you do with the foundation, now, how did you first hear about the foundation and their work?
I heard about it very, very early on in its conception because my stepdad, who I mentioned, he put on the first ever fundraiser in London at Electra Works that had the whole foundation down there. I think Sylvia was down there as well, and all the early members of it. So that was like the first big fundraiser, high-profile one in London that was put on, and also all the events in Whitby, the one at the Raw nightclub and the Metropole as well, were all run by Stephen. So we were aware of it very, very soon. I think I had a wristband in like 2008 in high school. So it's always been a big part. And then when we started Auger as well, it was our first sort of few shows were fundraisers as well, as it happens for the foundation. And because we've done Whitby quite a few times, and then we've done a couple of shows in York that were fundraisers, and I've actually met the people who put us on for those shows since then as part of the job, which has been quite nice to sort of see them again and almost be like, oh, I saw you 4 years ago when we played this. But it's sort of been a very important part of us for a while, and my brother is more or less the same age as how old Sophie would have been. So. And very much sort of emo. He was sort of very much into that. So it was very important and it resonated very, very much with our family, really, because we were all sort of alternative and gothic and stuff. So yeah, it was important. And yeah, I had quite a lot of trouble at school as well. So it was sort of extra playing on my mind when it happened. So it was nice to know that there was something out there that was being done about it as far as I was aware. So
what made you want to get involved?
Well, I sort of always tried to be involved, I guess, with the shows. It was just as if by chance I just saw the post on the page, and actually I'd left my job in 2021 to do music full time, and I made that very clear when I went for the interview, and I said, look, I'm applying for this because I want to support the charity. I don't necessarily need the job. I'm quite happy being self-employed and sort of doing my own thing, but I want to help if I can, and I've got some skills that could be used to really sort of advance things further. And my famous waffling and convincingness apparently worked because I got a call saying you haven't got the job, but we've sort of made one for you based on your skill set. So yeah, it was a good call to receive, and we've worked something out, and it's been great ever since. I think we've already made a bit of an impact, and hopefully that will just get more and more big, and it will grow, and we can really sort of do what I can to sort of leave my stamp on it, really sort of just really just drive it forward and try and maximize it and get it to be as sustainable and get as much reach out of it as possible and really sort of spread that message.
For those unaware, what exactly is your job in the foundation?
So by title, it's the Marketing and Development Manager. Honestly speaking, I think because it's been festival season, aside from sort of doing some bits with the marketing, like whether it's the social media or whether it's working with the website or contacting people regarding events, as well as some development planning, the most part of it so far has been working the festivals because it's festival season. There's so much to do. I can't believe that Dina had done this or more or less on her own for a while, and obviously with maybe just a couple of members' help because it's a huge undertaking. So I'm glad to have been able to be helped with that. But my actual role hasn't. I've not done much of it because of the festival season. So that's the great thing about now that's sort of we've done that and we've done a good job with it. Is that now moving forward up until the autumn and Christmas, there'll be a lot more focus on doing that sort of aspect of it, which is, I guess, sort of raising the profile of the foundation, and also just trying to develop it so that the systems are in place and everything works a lot more fluidly to make people in the office's lives easier to do their jobs, just to sort of get it to be as efficient as possible so that the money we raise can go into the right places easier and we can raise more money so we can do more of that. So it's sort of this kind of the snowball effect that I want to try and build up with the foundation and really try and grow it. So marketing and development it kind of encompasses that among a lot of other stuff as well. But the be all and end all is basically just to grow foundation as much as possible.
And it's so important because obviously yesterday was a 16-year anniversary since Sophie lost her life.
Mm-hmm. And
the message is still so prevalent now. Like, it's amazing when we talk to people at Bloodstock, even at Trees, and I no doubt you spoke to Download with us when we did that Primordial, it's still happening. Like, people are still being treated that way because of the way they dress, the music they listen to, whatever it might be. And it baffles me that it's still happening.
Yeah, it really is. It's a thing that when you get older, I think you become almost more naive to it, and you think, well, surely it doesn't happen anymore because I don't think in the same way that I used to. But you'd be surprised that it's actually never changed. People still have this same sort of preconception towards alternative people and prejudice in general towards anyone who belongs to some sort of subculture or minority group. And it's mad when you go in. We did a workshop, it was sort of part of the role, did a workshop in a school, and we were working with kids, and some of them were a little bit younger, and they were sort of 12, 13 years old, if not younger than that, I think some of them 11. And we did this workshop where we give them cards of different people, and they sort of pick people they want to hang out with and people they don't want to. And the people they were picking they didn't want to hang out to, and the reasons they were giving as justification as to not hang out with them were really horrible and really nasty things, but bizarrely are things that have been the same since, the same things that were said to Sophie and the same things that were said at that time. These kids who weren't even born, who weren't even a tiny figment of the imagination at that point, are still coming up with these same, derogatory terms and these same prejudice and being just as intolerant as, and it's just a matter of where does that come from? So it's still very much a thing, and it's still as important as ever to make sure that we tackle those things and that we sort of encourage more positive behavior to sort of let people in. And if you're not going to let people in to form a valid opinion of them, then just don't form an opinion of them. It's actually less work to not say anything than it is to say something hurtful. So it doesn't impress anyone. And I think anyone, when you get to an older age, you look back and you realize that actually I wasn't what a stupid thing to bully someone over. I think everyone is just as different as the next person. Like, why isolate that person? You know, it is baffling, but that's obviously that's the reason why we do what we do, and that's why we want to stop that as much as possible and to raise awareness that it is still very much a problem.
Oh yes, and then it doesn't help when people go on Loose Women and start taking the piss out of like Goth Baby, for example, and start, you know, people that have got a platform then start in a way like sort of backhandedly joining in with, you know, with dismissing people and oh, it's just a phase, and why would you do that to your kid, and that's disgusting, devil worship and all that crap that we're so sick of hearing now. We're probably not the nicest community ever. Like, we're probably the loveliest people you could ever hang out with and speak to. But do you know what I mean? It's crazy to me. I don't get it. Like, I didn't when I was younger. When I used to love Static X when I was growing up.
Oh yeah,
loved Wayne Static. I loved Wayne Static. So I had the spiky hair. I had my hair up, and I had it, and I always had it that way. People were like, oh, you know, get your fucking haircut. Like, but why should I do that? Why don't you get your haircut then? Like, I don't understand. Like, just because you like Dre and Eminem, does that mean that you have to cut? Do I have to tell you to cut your hair too? Like, I don't understand. I don't get it.
Yeah. And then the baffling thing is that the chances are that you probably also like Dre and Eminem as much as they did. And, and I bet if they knew that, then perhaps they'd think differently. It's so bizarre. I think it comes from. I guess it comes from your peers, and maybe it's a bit of peer pressure to come with a funny joke, but genuinely, and I don't know if it's right to say this, I think it comes from a genuine lack of intelligence. I think it's not an intelligent thing to do to insult someone, or to generalize something like so. Like, for example, I came back from a music video shoot, and I had my neck was all painted black, and I had all makeup on and stuff. And this guy walked past. I was in my car, and he pointed. He's like, "Oh, that's the guy from the fucking Slipknot." And firstly, that is the funniest thing I've ever heard, because the Slipknot just sounds so weird. But also like it must be so like that's the best they can come up with. So that must be the point where their mind, their intelligence doesn't span any further than I see someone alternative, let's insult them with the only reference I know. Like, it seems like a really unintelligent stab. If they'd said something, you know, a little bit more clever, I might have actually laughed with them. You know, I don't. In freedom of speech, you're allowed to say what you want, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe it comes from a little bit of that. But I mean, you can't blame the younger kids, I guess, because, you know, you can't expect them to have that same intelligence, that same experience. So therefore, it comes from the parents, or it comes from whoever's looking after them, and that's sad. But I don't know. It's just it's a mess, isn't it? And it's you can only do what you can, and you can only tolerate it to a certain extent as well. So we've just got to work hard to see if we can challenge it or reduce it in any way. Even if it gets reduced by 1%, I mean, 1% of all the people that are getting this is still ginormous amount of people. You know, so you know, we can only do what we can.
No, absolutely. And you mentioned the Slipknot there, which funnily reminded me of a moment when I was in Birmingham this is years ago, and I was walking with an ex of mine back from a club, a night out, and this guy turned around, looked, and he went, "God, your other half looks like he's from looks like he loves Slipknot." And I went, "It's because I do." What's your point exactly? They're one of the greatest metal bands probably ever. And what's your point exactly? He went, "Yeah, well, you know, you want to fight about it?" I'm like, "Not particularly. I just want to go home. That's okay with you." Like,
it's like that's why I say it's like an intelligence thing. I think it's almost like caveman mentality, isn't it? Like, because that's exactly what he's resembling at that point. He's like, "Oh, I don't know, just I'll punch her or something." It's just like, wow, no, thank you.
I just got this weird thing in my head. People looking through like they come over for the first time to hang out or whatever, and they look through your CD collection or vinyl collection. There, they go, "Oh, Kate Bush, right, great, yeah. Oh, don't mind Blink-182. That's lovely. That's lovely. That is Spice Girls, yeah, cool. Metallica, right, lovely to meet you. See you later." That's effectively what it's like. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like, though, isn't it? Realistically.
Yeah. It's so mad, isn't it? It's no. Like I guess no like intelligent person would do that based off if they knew the information. I think that's the point, is that we can't assume that everyone doesn't have the intelligence. So therefore we can only assume that they don't have the full picture. And if they still make those remarks when they have the full picture, well, that's sad for them that they are like that they are that going to corner themselves off that much. But we can only assume the best in people and assume that they've just got the wrong end of the stick, and actually they just need to learn a little bit more context. It shouldn't come to that. As I say, if you have no kind words to say, then say nothing more at all. Like that,
exactly.
It couldn't be more true than that.
I don't absolutely, I don't want to punch someone in the face because they love Stormzy. Like, I don't care. It's weird. It's just, oh, you love them. That's great. Well done. Congratulations. Well done. Here's a biscuit. Like, enjoy your life. Yeah. I'll see you later.
A big part of the work of the foundation, is you were talking a moment ago, right, is the music festivals. Mm-hmm. And it really shows the community in this alternative subculture. It's amazing. When was your first festival? Was it this previous download?
With the foundation.
The foundation,
yeah. It was the Download Festival. Yeah, that was the first one we did. So it was kind of a baptism by fire, I think, because it was so busy. God Almighty! Like, we opened at 11, and then we closed at midnight, and there wasn't ever not a queue. It was just, there was at least 6 or 7 people waiting to purchase merch or to chat with us or whatever it was. It was absolutely relentless, like and brilliant. I mean, we can't complain at that. It's absolutely fantastic. It goes to show how important Foundation is as an entity, but also as a community as well. I mean, if that didn't show support, then I don't know what ever will. It was an incredible thing, and it was a great festival as well. I mean, lucky with the weather. It was probably a bit too hot, but you can't complain too much. It was just a brilliant festival all around, and I didn't put my tent next to a generator, so that's it's all good.
A big win.
Big win.
Wouldn't recommend, no.
Was it what you expected, though? Obviously, I know it was busy, but was it what you expected? Could you have not prepared for that?
I guess it wasn't what I expected, because I expected more people to sort of come over. We'd heard a lot about them and sort of come over and tell us about their stories and about, their experiences. And it's not that they probably didn't want to do that. It's just that we were so busy that they probably felt bad starting that conversation up because there were so many people waiting. But it was because I think the biggest topic was the whole we weren't going to go and then we were going to go fiasco. So I think people just wanted to talk about that and wanted to express how important it was that we were here and that they had done their bit to make sure that we were, by posting or commenting or whatever it was. That was like the topic of conversation that really sold it. So yeah, it was different to what I expected, but I don't think I could have thought expected to be any better than that. It was really good. It was great fun. I had a really good time.
Yeah, I can imagine. And it's that what you were saying there about people coming and telling you their stories. Like, that blows my mind. Like, it's happened. Me and Tom don't officially work for the foundation, but we did that event at Primordial. We helped out in the tent last year at Bloodstock. Obviously, we were very busy this year, so we couldn't do as much. But last year we were in there quite a lot. And we had that. People we've never met before in our life, just walking up to us and start telling us their story and how the foundation has helped them and how they've been treated differently. And it's mind-blowing. You sort of don't know where to put yourself. But at the same time, you're like, this person's trusting me. I've never met this person when they trust me.
And I think it shows how open the whole community is. I think and that openness and that open-mindedness and that attitude is why we as a community don't make those prejudices towards other people. Because when you're open-minded, you don't do that. It's the closed-minded people that make those judgments and take on those actions. But yeah, it almost like emphasizes our point that we are very open, friendly people. And as everyone says in the community, the more extreme the music, the nicer the people are. Like, the heavier you get, the more friendly they become. And it's so true. I mean, everyone's in the same boat, and I think there's an appreciation for individuality at just a huge scale within this community. And I think it's so special, because no other community is as close knit as that. I genuinely don't think there is a community like that. I think there's a lot of great communities out there. I'm not saying that it's the best. I'm just saying that it's so well connected and everyone knows everyone. And yet there's bloody millions of them, and it's brilliant. It's so good.
And everyone just seems to get along. Like it blows. Music festivals blows my mind. You can literally just bump into someone like, "Hey mate," like, "Hey, do I know?" No, but hey, how you doing? Let's have a beer. Like what?
Yeah,
You couldn't do that on the street.
how much nicer would the world be to live in if we all took that attitude? Eh? Like if we were all metalheads in mindset and we all just said hello to each other and we all just offered to go for a beer or a coffee or whatever it was with some random stranger that we met. I think we'd all get along a lot better, wouldn't you? I think it'd be just a much nicer place to be, and there'd be a lot less conflict and all.
It really would. But speaking of going forward, obviously last year the foundation, we had the hate crime survey. I know the results are going to be published to that very soon. But what's the current focus? What we're looking at going forward from now?
So there's a big push, obviously with the hate crime survey, and that's going to be a real pivotal moment for us when we sort of publish that. And I think that's going to be really great for especially the authorities or the people higher up to sort of really see that is a problem. And I think hopefully off the back of that, but also simultaneously, there'll be lots of work within schools and doing a lot more workshops, a lot more presentations, but also even just outside of schools, doing just more presence in general. I think the word is to sort of speak to as many individuals, whether it's just a workplace that shows an interest in it, and to try and get it embedded into the system as a thing that you need to do this because it's insightful and it opens your mind to be much more accepting of everyone. And if we can stress that importance to the people higher up, then we stand more of a chance of being able to get into places in order to deliver the presentations and deliver the workshops or whatever it may be, to then change those mindsets in the hope that this sort of one of the long-term goals to get even just to get subcultures listed as a category as a real hate crime, because I mean that is something that Sylvia was told that you can basically only do that at grassroots level. You have to build that up in order to change that law. So we're going to do that, and that's going to be our focus, and that we're confident that we can do that. The community showed its hand and showed how much it has our back with download. And I know that's one festival, but it is 110 odd thousand people all behind us, showing how important it is that this idea, whether it's a Sophie or whatever it is, but even just at an idea level of that you should be tolerant of people, is represented. And I think just the importance of that, the fact that we have this charity, the fact that it is based off a real thing that happened and very much a real ongoing thing, I think just if anything helps our cause.
It's beautiful. Is there anything on a personal level that you'd like to achieve in your working with the foundation? You're saying when you came on, you had ideas and stuff like that. Is there anything that you've got that goal in mind? Like, I want to get it done. I want to get it done. Yeah,
there's quite a lot of things, and I'll be laughed at in the office for saying the word website, but it drives me mad. I'm part of what I do, and I do this outside of the foundation as well. I've done it for years. Is I build websites. And I'm very nerdy. I love it. I don't do it for money. I just genuinely like making websites. It's a weird hobby to have. But I want to get that sorted. It's the first sort of port of call for people to discover us and to learn about the foundation. So I want to make sure that it is, it has everything on there that it needs. But also I want to make sure that anyone coming to the foundation who needs help or advice or whatever it is can find that on the website, can go on to the website and get free resources or something, form of advice, or just post whatever it is, whether it's spreading awareness, whether it's personal help at a personal level. I want to make sure that there's some sort of hub or package available that they can access to help them with that, because I think that's really important. It should be accessible and it should be available to everyone if they need it, whether they're in this community or not, whether it's just bullying in general. Some key advice on there would be really important. So that's sort of my main project. I want to get that sorted, and I want to make sure that's as best as it can possibly be, and then working in from that, developing that over time, and also making a big deal about all the people that raise money for us. There's up and down the country, all around the world, people running little events, music, running a mile or however long it is. There's so many great things that people are taking their time out to do. There are a lot of effort, and they're raising, whether it's £20 or whether it's 500, it's still so important. The fact that they've even thought about us, let alone of anything they've raised. So I want to make a big deal about people who do that, and I want to make this sort of Hall of Fame thing on the website that shows everyone who raised money for us. It might be a ball ache to load on the screen, and it might take forever, but I want to make sure that everyone is represented, and I have to do some clever building in order to get all the cash on there. But I just want to make sure that, you know, if they've gone through that effort, that they are recognised for it, and there's no hierarchy of, okay, this person raised £1,000 as opposed to this person raised 50. I don't care. They've both done everything they can to raise as much money as possible. Someone got luckier than the next person, doesn't matter. I want to make sure everyone's equally represented on this big Hall of Fame list, and hopefully that should inspire more people to do it, but also to thank people for doing it for so long without a system like that exists that actually thanks them. Because at the moment we do our best and the emails come through, and sometimes they get a little bit lost and they take a little bit longer to get back to, and we try and do certificates, and we do what we can, but it is very much a process that there's no like actual way of doing it. So this will be a way to make sure that everyone gets that recognition that they deserve for being so selfless.
That's amazing. And it will. And I know it sounds weird, but it's, as human race, we are very much a reward things like, oh, if I do that for you, I'll get a mention on the website. Oh, I'm going to do more. I liked that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give me a treat.
Give me a biscuit. I raise money, goddammit. No, but it is a thing, and it's like, I mean, really, I'm just plugging my phone in. A selfless act shouldn't, if it's truly selfless, shouldn't need any sort of affirmation that it's been done. You do it because you want to do it. But that being said, there are people out there that film themselves giving money to homeless people, and it's like, oh, you're doing it for the views. It's like, maybe, but they're still giving money, which is probably more than you've done, and that's made a huge difference to them. Maybe they did it in the wrong interest and they've tried to capitalize on it, but the deed is still good and it's still pure and it's still helped them out a lot. So yeah, I think there's no shame in that. I think we should really just make a big deal about everyone who does it, because if we do that, then everyone's on the same page and no one gets more or less recognition than the next person. Everyone gets acknowledged. Absolutely. So it's like, we create a system that's equal, and therefore everyone is, if that makes sense.
No, makes perfect sense. And like, as a member of this community myself, I have to like tip my hat and say a massive thank you to you and all the work you've done while you've been there, and the foundation in general, because it means an absolute world to us. We fly that flag every single week. We have a video playing every single episode. It means the absolute world. I can still remember where I was when I heard Sophie's story, and it is so relevant today, as it was then.
Well, of course, we thank you as well for doing it. Want to be on the Hall of Fame? It is people. It is people, obviously, like yourself. You're ambassadors, but you would do this if you weren't. That's not the point. It's you do it because you care about it and you want to use your platform to create more awareness for the foundation, and that's wonderful. I mean, we don't ask you to do that. That's something that you do. So we obviously very much appreciate that. And the more people doing that, the better. Everyone should be singing about stuff that they believe in, whether it benefits or doesn't benefit. Whether it affects your metrics negatively if you do it. The fact that you do it is important, and it shouldn't matter. And I think, if we can create that equal system, then everything is equal. And
it's all down to the work of that wonderful woman. And my heart, Sylvia will always have my heart. What an incredible woman. And it's all down to her.
Absolutely amazing. And I did get to meet her. I was very, very fortunate for that. And it was great to chat to her. And I couldn't believe who I was talking to when I first spoke to her. I was like, actually, Sophie's mum. Like, I heard all this great stuff about you and all the stuff you've done, and just very humble and just obviously so driven towards the goal that she had, and like a train that couldn't be stopped. Almost like she just carried on going, and we owe it to her and to all the work that she's done, and to Sophie to keep that going and to keep moving forward with it.
Absolutely. Before we let you go, sir, there's a question I like to ask all musicians on this show as we start wrapping up. If people are listening to this and they're like, Kyle Blaqk, I like this guy. I like the cut of his jib. I'm going to go give his band. I'm going to go check them out, see what they're like. What's 2 or 3 songs you might recommend from your back catalogue for them?
Okay, right. So it's Auger or Auger, however you want to pronounce it. I'm sure it'll be written down somewhere, but it's Auger. Because if I just say that, no one will know how to spell it. But really, so we have a new single coming out on the 1st of September. That's called Before It Began. That is, it's energetic, it's feel good, it's rocky. There's a little bit of synth elements in there as well. It's a nice little blend, and it's kind of uplifting, and that's for anyone sort of fans of like maybe like Jimmy Eat World, or I guess sort of maybe a little bit of Depeche Mode as well, or even a band like Always and stuff. Anyone a fan of that's our go-to, and obviously it's our newest song, so I'm always going to say it's the best because the newest is always the best. But yeah, that's a great one. The gateway drug, as I like to call it, into Auger is Oxygen, which will be the top song on Spotify, and that's just it's relatively easy listening. It's meaningful. It's heartfelt. It's got a dancey element to it. It's loads of electronic synthesizers and basses that you'd expect from dance music, but also has quite a lot of guitar in it as well. And it's just a nice, easy listening song. Super melodic, as all the songs are melodic. They're all very sort of singy. So that's another good one. And then for any of the heavier inclined people who like the heavier music, probably something like Hit the Lights, which is on the Insurgents album, the 3rd one, and that's drop A sharp tuning for anyone that likes the guitar tuning. So it's a lot heavier than the normal stuff, and it's got a bit of groove to it as well. So it's quite sort of, it's reminiscent. It's like a modern electronic version of like maybe some early Korn stuff. But like with a much more singy vocal. Like I can't do the whole shouty, screamy thing. I'd love to be able to, but I genuinely can't. So full credit to any metal musicians who can do that. That is a skill. I'd end up throwing up after 3 words. But yeah, so that's one to listen to. I've tried. I have a voice recording on my phone, and it's called Learning to Metal Scream, and it's just me saying the words "I want to die" over and over again, but trying to do it in like "I want to die" sort of thing. And I feel so sorry for my neighbours because that was really loud, and it went on for about an hour, and I got no closer to my final result, so I just gave up at that point.
But personally, self-recommended, I'm going to say Holding On, the song we discussed earlier, and Insurgents. Okay.
Yeah,
love
big
it.
energy.
I literally, I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to say it. Okay, I'll sound slightly fanboyish. I was getting ready for this interview earlier. I was like, let's listen to a few songs, get in the mood. I literally pressed play and I didn't turn it off. I was like, I think this might be one of my new favourite bands. These are fucking incredible. I was like, these are phenomenal. I was like, yes.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad that you liked them.
Yeah, very much so. So, yeah, keep up the great work, my friend. Mr. Stevens, any more questions for our wonderful guest?
Yeah, I do. I have one thing I just want to say, and then I got a question for you, which is you're off to Spain next year for the first time ever.
Yes.
Excited?
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited for the weather. I mean, but I've got to get that out there. Everyone's thinking it. But yeah, it's in Madrid, which is just such a cool city. I always wanted to go, and we're playing alongside some amazing bands. One of them's a band called Propaganda, who are one of my all-time favorite bands in the 80s. I think Ex-Propaganda is like a reformed version of Claudia. But yeah, brilliant stuff. So super looking forward to that one. And it will be good because it will be first show in Spain, and the drummer who I've got on board, Marcus, is relatively new. So it's another chance to sort of hit another country with a full August sound, like a full throttle kind of live drums, live guitars, all that kind of stuff. So it's a really good first impression. We've got a really good opportunity there to really raise the roof. So we will be doing just that.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing all about it, and I hope you absolutely fucking smash it at there. And you're coming up obviously coming up soon. But the last thing I do want to ask you is, did you ever think when you first started this, even though it came as a practical joke, did you ever think this is the way you would be today with Auger?
I mean, No, I obviously I wanted it to be, but I'm realistic in thinking that at the start I was like, well, how far can it get? And I think it's only when it started to get traction that I thought, no, actually, this could be something. And I think from pretty early on, from the reaction we got from our first ever show, that reaction has been the same, and I've wanted to make sure that's the same so badly, and that's why I put all the effort in to really just, however you expect us to be, I want to exceed that expectation constantly. So I'm well aware it sounds big-headed, but I want to be as big as possible, and I want to do these things and I will get there, and I truly believe that the music will take us there, and the hard work will take us there eventually to these. I always said I want to sell out the O2, and I mark my words, I will do it. So look out for that coming 2025. But yeah, it's just a lot of hard work, and I'm so passionate about it that I want it to be successful, and I can't see why it wouldn't be. I mean, it's music that I love. I'm super passionate about it, and I put every ounce of effort. And if that isn't good enough, then I've done all that I can. So I'm just going to keep going with that, and the Auger train keeps moving, and it moves regardless of what's in the way. And if you fall off it, well, you've got to try and catch up because it just keeps going. And that's the analogy that I use for whatever reason.
That's amazing.
The Auger train.
That
It
is
sounds
amazing.
cool. The Venga Boys have a bus. The Auger Boys have a train.
Mow that fucking bus down.
I know, right? Yeah.
The Auger
It's
train is coming.
it's like the train in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It literally can't move. Like you can't derail it. It just goes through everything. Just no clips through mountains and through cars. Blows up everything it touches.
What a reference! What a reference! Kyle, before we let you get out of here, any plugs, social medias, websites, whatever it may be, you want people to check out?
Yeah, well, check us out on social media. You can follow us. Facebook is at Auger Official. So is Twitter. Instagram is at auger.band. Someone beat us to it. We have a website. It's auger.band. Don't put the www because it doesn't work for whatever reason. And yeah, we're on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff. And if you give us a listen, I am sure you'll find something among the 60 odd songs that you will like, because there's so many different genres. And if you did like it, brilliant. And if you don't, well, at least you tried. And I got a stream, so that's 0.0007 pence in my pocket. But aside from that, just if you've got this far into it, thanks for listening.
Wonderful. Kyle, thank you so much, my friend. It means the absolute world to taking time out to talk to us.
No problem at all. Thanks very much for having me.
It's been absolutely incredible. It's always a pleasure. Obviously, we've been fortunate enough to actually spend time with you as well at the music festivals and whatnot. And we really appreciate your time coming on here, because obviously we've been here for a while, but it's great. Absolutely love it. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much. And likewise, it's been great. I'm sure we'll cross paths pretty soon anyway at the next jaunt, the next event that we And I'm trying to get sick this time.
Yeah. Camp's a bit more responsible this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Camp responsibly. Never mind the drinking. It's just camp responsibly. Bloody hell. That was an oversight. I actually took a picture of it as well, saying this won't end well. And with the picture of my tent next to the generator, I bloody doomed it.
You jinxed yourself. That's what you did right there.
Yeah. I'm like my own best joke.
Oh, wonderful. Kyle, it definitely needs to be. Yeah. Again, Kyle, thank you so much, my friend. It means the absolute world.
Appreciate it so much.
Thanks for having us. It's been good fun. Sorry to keep you for so long.
No, don't worry about it. It's absolutely fine. We love that shit. That's what we're here for. So we absolutely love it. No, appreciate your time, man. Thank you. And have an absolutely splendid evening.
Yes, you too. You too.
Yes.
And I'll see you on the other side. I'll awkwardly leave this by pressing the world's smallest leave button. There we are. Oh, I've put effects on. There we go. Right, I'll catch you later.
See you later, bro. Take it easy. See you later.
Bye-bye. I missed it.
What a superb conversation. Like I said at the start, I love it because it's two halves. It's like, here's all about my band. Here's all about this amazing charity I work for. And it's just beautiful.
Yeah, we've had the pleasure of working alongside Kyle at the past couple of festivals, 2000 Trees and Bloodstock, and it was just an absolute all-round legend, if I'm really truthful. So yeah, this interview is phenomenal. Obviously, talking all about the foundation, talking about the charity that's very near and dear to all of our hearts. I think it gets quite personal in parts. So we like to throw it all out there for you all to enjoy. So we really hope that you would enjoy listening to it as much as we did recording it. I love this transition part now. I don't know why. I love the whole that interview was amazing. Now you've got about an hour of us. Oh yeah,
strap in.
Thanks for staying. Thanks for getting warm with your slippies on and your newspaper. Why would you have a newspaper? Have a newspaper when you fucking listen to us. But Jamie, there was just my love for Robin Williams, right?
I do.
Well, my love for Robin Williams vastly grew today because I found out something new, and I just went, how can I not love you more than I already do? And then I did. So just one of those things. I fucked that up, but I don't care. Apparently, right, on Mork and Mindy,
yes,
the production team had to hire a censor that spoke 4 languages to keep track of Robin Williams secretly trying to slip swear words in other languages in during the show. And I was just like, do you know what? Oh, there's no words to describe that, is there?
That's the most Robin Williams thing ever.
That's what I mean. When you think you can't love someone or something more than you do, and then you find something new and you go, oh my God, taken way too soon, in my opinion, absolutely devastated. And for people that know me on a personal basis, obviously I've watched this documentary quite a few times now. And I don't mean this as in, oh yeah, because I'm fucking awesome in any way, shape or form, but I see a lot of me in him. From a personal standpoint, in the sense of that he always likes to entertain, make people laugh, and he always loved to, that's all he ever wanted, just to. He apparently, from what I've heard as well, meeting fans and stuff, he always spent a lot of time with people, chatting away, and that's he just seemed like an absolutely genuine human. And from the documentary, obviously, it's my life's work is I just want to make people laugh, and I want to entertain people, and I want people smiling to be happy. That's all I've ever wanted to do. So,
what a mindset as well.
Yeah, someone that for his stature, his caliber, for his talents, and he's just I just want to be with the people. I'll be amongst the people. I think who was it that said? Was it Timothy Rose that said he was meant to be the original voice of Howard the Duck, but the director was an absolute prick, and he went, "No, see you later, not working for you."
Yeah, it was that. And you hear stories about him. I believe it was Robin Williams that hired homeless people and stuff to work on sets to give them money and help them. What a fucking hero! People his stature and his level of fame could easily give me all the money, I make the ha-has, you fuck off. But no, he wasn't like that at all. Gone way too soon, what you say.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, now to my enraged part where I start to whinge and moan about shit. So
we're back to normal.
Yeah, the show's now back on the road, boys and girls. Turkish ice cream vendors. Now, who in their right fucking mind thought this would be an amazing idea? Just give me the fucking ice cream. I don't give a shit about all your tricks and all that sort of bullshit. I don't care. Have you seen these?
No, I was going to say, you'd have to fill me in here. I've not seen this.
I've not seen Turkish ice cream vendors in Turkey I'd like a whatever flavoured ice cream, and they put it in the cone, give you the cone, but it's 2 cones. The cone comes back out, and they have that stick and flip all the ice cream around, and they flip the cones around, and they keep flipping things, and they don't give you the ice cream for a good 10, 15 minutes.
Why?
I don't know. I wonder who was in there, business meetings that went, yes, customer service must be key. So what we need to do is make sure that we don't serve people for at least 10 to 15 minutes. What if it's a queue? What if it's a really busy period of the day? Do you know what I mean?
It's a hot country.
Yeah. Dude, can I just have my ice cream, please? Why are you... you thought I was giving you ice cream. No, I'm not. Here's cone. Here's cone. I get you ice cream. You thought it was ice cream. It's not. I bet I take my bunny back. That's my bunny rabbit. Anyway, okay. Here's cone. Here's cone. You want ice cream? Yes, ice cream. Covered ice cream. And you're not having ice cream. No, you're not having ice cream yet. Here's cone. Have 2 cones. Have no cones for no reason. Have just cones. Have all the cones. Cones. Here's cones. You want ice cream? Okay, I get you ice cream. More cones. You're like, dude, can I fuck off? Why is this a thing? It's the worst business idea I've ever heard.
They must have something in their customer service thing over there, like you said. It just makes them go so. Like, have you seen? I've never been to a Turkish barber because, quite frankly, I don't want wax shoved up my nose without asking me, because that's what they seem to do, to just sort of go overboard. But
I've been to a Turkish barber, and you have to ask for that, so you're fine.
Okay.
It was when they put all the oils and soaps and stuff in your beard, like, oh my god, that smells lush, and they just wrap that massive towel on your face, and you're like, I can't breathe. That's the, and then they put a finger in, you're like, I just get. Is it yawn? Is it people just yawn? Oh, yawn! Don't even get me started.
Yawn raping? I forgot all about that.
God. What? Like, why? What was the point in that?
Please don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know where that's been. And from what I know of you, your arsehole's very clean. Oh yeah, definitely gets like shit. But yeah, I think that's probably one of. It's on Facebook, and I think there's some videos and stuff. I think the more annoyed you get, the more they do it. So you have to kind of like not react. But obviously, a British person, trying to do that to a drunk British person, oh my god, especially from the north, like a Leeds fan or something. Like, you fucking what? You reckon? They'll probably like climb over and try and beat the shit out of him.
I just want the fucking Mr. Whippy.
I bet he's there. I bet he's just there going, do you do chips? That's probably what he's saying the entire time. Oh, don't worry about it. My mother was a raccoon anyway. Like, huh? Then they're getting confused going, I thought you wanted the ice cream. Where you go? I thought you wanted the ice cream. Anyway. This one I thought of earlier and was like, this is going to be great. Hi, Claire. If you're watching, this one's for you.
Oh, God, what?
You know how they say you swallow about 6 spiders in your lifetime when you're asleep?
Yes, they do say that, yes.
Yeah. You've seen the size of the bastards now, right?
Yeah, they are fucking huge.
It's almost like you're getting gagged. So I bet you're asleep like, and it's like, sorry about that. I wanted to see what was down there, but I couldn't get down. I'm too big now.
I thought I'd yawn rape you with all 8 arms, but I fell in.
It's almost like you're getting fucking like deep throated or something. Like, do you know what I mean? That's how fucking big they are now.
They are massive.
Sorry about that. Yes, I wanted to go for an adventure. You see, the wife wanted to go on holiday. You see, but and I thought that's a fun little water slide right there. Yes. But unfortunately, we can't get down, so I'm going to go and eat more insects in your house. Is that okay with you? Don't bother me. I'm fine. Like, we ran away because you're fucking huge. Do you know that? Because you're so fucking massive, I don't actually want to be anywhere near you, so I go and run away and hide. That's why I run with my massive legs, you see? And we're so fast because I have 8 of them. So I don't know why you're so scared of me. I just was literally just having a look to see what was going on. But apparently, you're absolutely fucking petrified for some reason. It's weird.
Have you seen the size of you? Why are you scared of me?
But then again, if you're in Australia and that happens, I mean, they are probably the size. They're probably the size of your body. So yes. I'm not surprised you're falling into their mouths when they're asleep. To be quite honest with you, that's how fucking literally like spiders don't bother me. But when I've seen some of the ones in the outback, like hell fucking no. They're like the size of me, and I'm 6'3". So it actually makes me feel really like I go, oh no, thank you. No, thank you. Also, it's like, morning, Tom, Tintin. No, I'm not interested. Oh, sorry, it'd be more like, good day, mate. What's going on? What's the fucking story? Hey? You want to have another? I don't know what this is. I literally don't know what this is. This is my spine. This is the legs at the front. This is what this is.
I enjoyed it.
These are my front. You see, I have 6 others, don't you know? But yeah, that just came to mind because obviously people talk about swallowing spiders. And then isn't there someone that I swear somebody, when you're a kid, as you do, to find the most mental shit on YouTube or on the internet, people were watching videos of women or guys or people that like to put spiders in their mouths and they were like absolutely gigantic. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you okay? Are you well? Is what I want to know.
Knows the answer to that question.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's my moans for the
I
week.
like it. It's funny you talk about Australia. It's a country I've always wanted to go to, but the animals make me not want to go. Like, I don't want a bear to drop on me from a tree. I don't want a spider the size of my house to come after me, and I don't want a fucking kangaroo to kick me in the head or whatever they do. I don't know. But yeah, it's scary.
Kangaroos seem awesome. I bet they're well lovely. Koalas, I definitely want to go. I just don't want to go to any deserty areas. Just the cities are fine. I'll stick to Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane, and we'll just stay in the cities. Nowhere near any deserty areas where spiders and snakes may roam. No, thank you. But talking to Australia, Jamie, I was going to talk about it later, but I want to talk about it now. I've discovered a new podcast this week called We Got the Chocolates.
Yes.
Do you know what, right? The whole thing is just hilarious. There was no point where I was like, I think I was laughing more than when I was listening, and I kept missing bits because I was laughing so much. It's fucking mental. It's great. It's an excellent hour of pure comedy, in my opinion.
That clip you sent me was fucking hilarious, so I do need to check it out.
Well, the nicknames for workmates was absolutely great. They do like game shows where they take the piss out of each other and just stuff like that. It's just really cleverly done. So if you haven't listened to it, it's two brothers and then there's loads of mates. And they just literally take the piss out of each other. There's puns. You'd love it. There's puns in there. There's the nickname for, there's like dad jokes. Nickname for workmen. Have people ring in as well. They have people ring in when they do the recording and talk about stuff. And it's just Australians are fucking hilarious anyway.
Wow.
But I highly recommend for those who haven't listened to it. I'm going to get on this show because I think that would just be another Rab himself interview where we just piss ourselves laughing the entire time. So I definitely want the We Got the Chocolates boys on here. But I highly recommend, Jamie. They've done 201 episodes, I think. They're on 201, yeah. And it's just pure gold. I highly recommend. So
I should definitely have to go check that out. Yeah,
100%.
Amazing. I haven't actually brought anything this week. I got nothing to come across my.
I was going to say, do you have anything? But funnily enough, I had nothing till this morning.
Oh, there we
are. There we are indeed. There we are in fucking indeed, lads. But how are you, Jamie? What's been going on?
I'm very well. I've been looking forward to doing this all day. So it's been a pretty terrible week and a half at work. So I've been looking forward to this all day. So
wow, what's happened?
It's just been shit. No staff, etc., etc. No, the usual.
It's like retail, but in the medical world.
Yeah, where the pressure's even higher because you're like, oh shit, people need this, but yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing to give you.
But again, it goes to show what the government want to do. So they will absolutely bleed it dry till you're on your fucking knees and then go, lovely, let's privatize it all. Hooray! We make lots of money, you all die. Fantastic.
Yeah, pretty accurate story there, yeah. I like it. But how about you? How are you, my friend?
Well, now I don't have to put 7 bins out. That's absolutely fucking phenomenal. You get that joke, did you? Oh, for God's sake. Keep up with it. Rishi Sunak was on about how everyone has 7 bins and they don't have to use 7 bins anymore, but we've never had 7 bins, Jamie. So
this is why I don't watch the news.
Yeah, but then my jokes don't fucking land. Because you're going, yeah? We've only got 3 in Birmingham. We've got no money. So have you got 7?
We had to downsize on our bins because of the council.
Yeah. And you only knew that because I told you.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus fucking
Always
Christ.
keeping it with current affairs. Don't invite me on a news show, people. I won't know fuck all.
Woo! Bear with me.
Ignorance is bliss world.
Yes. In answer to your question, yeah, I'm all right. Work's been stressful.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot harder than what I did before. So, yeah, it's proving it's just difficult because everything's target listed and it's like specific rather than get whoever you want. So I would have been very close to target this week already, but they've all been rejected. So I'm like,
oh, for fuck's sake.
But that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. So that's fine. That is what it is. We move, as the kids say these days. We move.
Yes, we move.
apparently. So I'm moving right now. I don't get slang anymore. I've hit that age now where I'm like, I just don't get it. There is one thing I want to bring up actually before we really get into it. So my nephew has just started secondary school in Newent.
Okay.
He's ginger.
Yes.
Can you guess where this is going?
He's been bullied for being ginger.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, why is this still a thing?
I don't know why any form of bullying is still a thing, to be fair.
Well, exactly. But I'm there going, but Ed Sheeran, classic example.
Yep.
Super fucking famous right now. He's one of the biggest artists in the world. He's ginger.
He is.
Do you know what I mean? And then weirdly, after I had the conversation with my mother, I had a news article pop up because obviously your phone always listens to you. An article came up from, I think it was Wales Online or some absolute bullshit fucking news outlet. And it was like, this girl got bullied for her whole school life, but now has the last laugh because she's like a major model.
Fair play.
She's ginger. So, do you know what I mean? It just, like, my initial thought was, I'd like to go to that school. And I'd like to go up to those, whoever the fuck it is, and go, hiya, I've heard you've got a problem with ginger people. Care to explain?
Could you imagine? They would shit themselves.
Yeah, I just want to know exactly what it is that you have a problem with ginger people, apparently. So
I don't get it.
Oh, but they're only children. Yeah, it's a sure fucking know better. I don't give a shit how old they are.
They should know better. And their parents should know what the little bastards are like.
Exactly.
And teach them better.
They were throwing shit at him because he's ginger. I'm like, wow, that's kind of weird. Like, why? Jealous, I suppose.
You should smack them around the back of the head and go, that's because you're a
I would never fucking touch them because obviously that will then put me in shit. I just like to go I'd like to go nose to nose. I'll get on my knees and go, what exactly is the problem? I'm just really intrigued.
Could you imagine?
Like, please indulge. Oh, want to bring your parents? By all means. I still would like to know what the issue is. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I wouldn't say they're mollycoddled, but like this shit needs stamping out. And now, because I'm fucking sick of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Bullshit. It needs to
just... Not the fact that I'm alternative and love rock and metal music, but I'm ginger as well, so it's like double fucking whammy.
Yes.
And you're just like, we need to, all my ginger brethren and brethrens.
Don't know if brethren is a word, but it should be because that's great.
Do you know what? I couldn't give a fucking shit if it is or isn't, Jamie. I've just made it up and it's now mine.
You should own it. It's great. I enjoyed that word.
Oh, good. I was going to say, you pick on me some ginger. So yeah, I'm just that's what I'd love to do. I just love to just go up to those little fucking pricks and go, hi guys, what's going on? So apparently there's a major problem with ginger people for some reason. Have you not seen one of us before? And we don't get let out very often. I'll be really honest. So
especially in the sun.
Yeah. It's like, look at the fucking state of this. Anyway, what's the problem? Do you want to hurl shit at me for no reason? I'm ginger.
As well, how have they heard that? Like, I don't remember the last time I heard like a proper people being shitty about ginger people. Like, is it? I didn't even know it was still a thing until that.
No, did I?
So, fuck knows.
And then what am I doing, Jamie?
Because you've all got no souls.
I'm gonna fucking right.
That's what they used to say, wasn't it?
Any originality? Anything?
That's the only. Look, I just remembered that's what they said. All right, I don't agree with it. I know you have a soul. It's a beautiful soul. I'm just sucking up now because I don't want you to hurt me.
I mean, I'd never hurt you. Callum might.
Good point. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just I just want this shit to stop. Do you know what I mean? And I want people to stop pussyfooting around shit. And it's 2023 now. We don't pussyfoot around things anymore.
Nope.
Do you know what I mean? Oh, but they're only children. I don't give a fucking shit if they're only children. If they were 5 and abusing my nephew or any of my family, I'd still want to know why. Yep. It could be they like to spin around a lot, and that's fine. But at least I've got an answer.
They're kids. They're in
Still.
school. They need educating. So how about we educate them why things?
I would never threaten children ever. I would never do any of that. I just hate the fact that my nephew, as legendary as he is getting shit because of the color of his hair.
Yeah,
which is the weirdest thing ever.
Yep.
Oh, Ginger! Oh my God! Kill it! Kill it! Fucking weirdos. Anyway, Jamie, how's your week been?
It's been pretty fucking quiet, to be fair. I've not done a fat lot. I've mostly been Rihanna, and like I said, it's not been that great there, but there we are. But no, I did stuff on the weekend. I had a long weekend because we were supposed to go to an event, and I was like, I'm just going to keep my annual leave because I could do with a long weekend. So Friday I went to go see the kids, which is always nice. I got absolutely fucking soaked because it was nice, beautiful weather when I left the house. So I was just wearing a hoodie. I was like, it's fine. By the time I got to the kids' house, I had to sit around in my pants and a blanket while my clothes went in the tumble dryer because I was that wet. Like, it fucked it down on me as I was walking to the bloody kids' house. Yay, British summer.
Did you die, though?
No, I didn't die. I had to
Did you
swim.
melt?
I had to swim, but no.
I always wonder how people thought that would ever happen.
What?
Like, it's outside. Like, do you know what I mean? I know flooding is becoming a bit more of an issue now, but like, everyone's like, I had to swim to work. Did you? Really? Because I fucking drove here. So how did you? Where was the water? Sorry, Karen.
But Saturday was the most important thing. Becky and a few of her friends did a 5K rainbow charity run for Birmingham Hospice. So I went to that to support her. It's called a rainbow run because basically they throw powder paint like everywhere. And you're covered in head to toe in all multicolours. As you're doing through the course, they throw more powder paint at you. You run through bubbles and foam and all this sort of stuff. I ended up doing half of it because Olivia wanted to follow mommy. So I was fucking knackered and I wasn't even part of it. But there we are.
Your council has no money, so who the fuck cleaned that up?
To be fair, yeah.
This is now Rainbow Road. We're now part of Mario Kart for some reason because we can't clean this shit up.
It's because it was just powder paint. So as soon as it rained, it washed away. But it was great. It was fine.
Thanks.
But
I was just making a joke, but fine. Just shit all over it.
No, but I did actually think that until I realised it was just going to wash away. I was like, shit, this is like staining the grass. They're going to have some problems here. What are we going to do? Then I was like, no, it's powder paint, you fucking idiot. Of course it's not.
Now, see here, Tom, you fucking moron. What happens is precipitation, you see, falls from the sky and washes all the paint away. Okay? Anyway, as you were.
Let's think, I know you were joking, but I genuinely did think for at least like half a second, fuck the grass, what are they going to do? Because I'm a moron. We've established this. But no, it was great. And then we went out for food with a few of our friends that did the run afterwards. So it was a nice day on Saturday. But all of them, they absolutely smashed it. They all completed it. Fair play. They did an absolutely great job. It was fun to cheer them along and everything. And then that's pretty much it. And now I'm here. I've really done nothing.
Doing those early mornings, eh?
Oh, yes. 4 a.m. alarms. Yay.
But we've very kindly been invited on a podcast, haven't you, Jane?
I have, yes. So I'll record that next week, which I'm very much looking forward to because I get to talk about Kiss for God knows how long. Yes. Very excited.
Oh, I feel for Harley, I really do.
But everyone go and subscribe and check out Fundamentals Podcast because I will be on there very soon, hopefully. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and good. That's it. Good plug.
And to be fair, even if I wasn't going to be on it, go listen to it. It's great. I was listening to his Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode today, and I was like, I really want to watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine again now because that show was great.
What a great program that is.
Yeah, it was actually great. What about you, my friend? What have you been up to?
Not a fat lot, Jay. Not a whole ass of a lot. I've sessioned with Braden. I've been watching a lot of AEW to catch up. I've been trying to watch WWE, but I'm getting so fucking bored of it. What else have I really done? I've not really done. I need to watch Only Murders after we recorded this, the second to last episode, penultimate episode tonight. More than anything, I'm just getting ready to go to Barcelona more than anything else. This time next week, I will be on my first night there, so I'm quite looking forward to that. But dude, like literally, I think I just watched rugby all weekend again, and the NFL. Nothing really. Scotland won, so we're still in the running, but Ireland beat South Africa, so it's going to be tough. We need to beat Romania this weekend with a bonus point. So score 4 tries.
Okay.
And then it all comes down to Saturday, the 7th of October, 8 p.m. on Saturday against the Irish. It's we have to win. We have to score 4 tries, which is going to be fucking impossible. And make sure that they don't score 4 or get a losing bonus point, which means they can't be within 7 points of us. So it's going to be really great for facing the number 1 team in the world. So
You never know. You never know.
Oh, dude. All I know is that I'm going to turn my flat to rubble with how fucking loud I'm going to be. That's all I know. So massive congratulations to Wales for qualifying for the quarterfinals, and to the English who qualified for the quarterfinals.
I don't really care. Just like celebrating for my country.
So,
but
yeah, so literally, and then the Steelers have won this weekend as well. So, like, it's been all right sports wise. Yeah. But nothing like I'm literally rattling my brain. I'm like, I actually really haven't done a whole ass of a lot.
Are you missing out the fact that you were the poster boy for Scottish rugby?
Well, I wouldn't. I forgot about that. I wouldn't say I was the poster boy, but it was one. So basically, what James is referring to is on Saturday night when I was about to watch South Africa Ireland, I was scrolling through Facebook, and the Scottish rugby post kept being like, "Hey fans, where are you cheering us on from tomorrow? Yay!" So I was like, "That's really cool. I love that post. Fuck, it's me." I was the very last photo in the corner, like, holy shit. And they gave me a border and everything. I was like, that's amazing.
That is fucking awesome.
So I was on the Scottish rugby page, Facebook page, with me shirt and my flag out. So,
and your Stay Cozy hat representing.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yeah, that was fucking sick. That was like, I think I messaged about 15, 20 people and then put it on Facebook, then put it on. I meant to put it on Instagram, I never did. Just being like, oh my God, how cool is that? Weirdly, I kind of expected someone to message me and go, what the fuck are you doing on this? But no one did. So I was like, oh.
It's probably because you told everyone, so they couldn't. They already knew.
all the people that cared and mattered, all 5 of you. So yeah, no, that was really cool. So yeah, I think we've literally both had like the most boring weeks ever.
Yeah, I think so. Pretty much, yeah.
What did you do? Nothing.
It's fine. We like to have quiet weeks again.
Yeah,
and again.
Yeah. Like I think I'm gearing up for holiday next week now. So there will be a show, guys. Don't stress. Yeah, so I was really looking forward to getting away and just doing a lot of swimming.
Lots of swimming. Swimming and Blink-182. Sorted. What a great week.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. Their new song, I think, like, destroyed every fucking person that lived through the new metal era.
Yeah.
When they were around, when they were huge. That song is so beautiful. Like, the whole emo generation, all the rockers, all of us that you know, were of Blink-182s when they first came out in the 90s are like, oh my God.
Especially if you watch the video.
Yeah, it's all their music videos.
Yeah, it's beautiful to see. I was watching, I was like, I know that background.
That's First Date. Yeah. There's Rock Show. There's Sit Together for the Kids. There's Adam's song. There's all the small things.
It's great. Absolutely great.
But yeah, very much looking forward to seeing them next week. I think this is going to be it for them. One more album, one more tour.
Yeah, all right.
So yeah. So very excited. As long as that Kardashian doesn't pop that child out, we're all good.
Oh fuck yeah, I forgot all about that. That Kardashian.
I don't know. There's so fucking many of them. I don't know what it is. Keris will fucking murder me when she hears this.
I think it's Chloe. I have no idea.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I just know it's not Kim.
All I know is if we started talking about the Kardashians, it's time to get the fuck out of here and check in with this guy right here.
Absolutely. Come on, Braden. What's going on at Stay Cozy Clothing for all you audio listeners?
All right. Is this thing on?
Well, howdy doody, everybody.
This is Braden Berry from Say We Can Fly, founder of Stay Cozy Clothing, your one-stop shop for the coziest, most fashionable hoodies, t-shirts, and more.
Gosh, Mickey. That's right, folks. And we're proud to say that we are now sponsoring
the Chronicles of Podcast. Ouch.
Hosted by Tom and Jamie.
Like, you can get 10% off, man.
That's right, Shaggy. Just use the special code, The Chronicles, at checkout.
Oh, boy.
I love that you forget about our audio listeners.
I know.
Checking with this guy right here. Let's checking with this that you can't see because you're listening to it. Mind you, if you're an avid listener to the show, you would know that Braden comes up after the you know what I mean. But still, for all those new people, Jay, they might not know about Stay Cozy Clothing and Braden's phenomenal advert.
Well, they should.
And he's done a massive rebrand as well.
He has brand new hoodies, and they look great.
Yeah, absolutely. Making it more minimalist, which is what I think is good. Yeah, which is very good. So the popular line stayed and everything else went. But Jamie, just before we get into your favourite segment, also, this is the last week that you will see these backdrops.
Yes, it is.
As of next week, for October, we have brand new sexy backdrops, and they're so beautiful. I cannot stress. I can't wait for you to get yours and be like, I'm going to wrap myself up in like a blanket and sleep in it. It's absolutely amazing. And yeah, money well spent is all I can say. Definitely. You did a superb job there, my friend. Absolutely superb job. But Jamie, it's time for your favourite segment of the week.
Yes, it is.
It's time for Callum's Treachings.
Yes.
Do you want to know something? Callum will be able to tell you in Callum's Treachings.
Is cereal soup?
Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Callum's Treachings. He is back to treat the nation and the world all those wonderful things inside his head. So, without further ado, Jamie, what is Callum treating us this week?
Growing up is realising that Batman takes a shit ton of steroids.
How dare you, Mr. Stevens? Not Mr. Stevens, Mr. Treacher. I don't know why I keep doing that.
That was weird. Is there some pent-up anger and frustration there? Did me there? No, it was...
I know what it is, because I work with someone whose name is Callum Stevens. So you two mix together, and my head goes, ah!
Oh my God, could you imagine me and Callum put together? His absolute beautiful, handsome, like, buffness with my ginger fucking, hello! People would look at them and people would look at like our combination and go, oh my fucking God. And as soon as we speak, they'd be like, no, thank you.
The perfect, maybe not.
My future does not lie with him. Anyway, yeah, because what the fuck, Jamie Westwood?
He works out lots. That's why he's training. Training hard.
Can we be adults about this for a second first?
Yes.
And not blow our load all over fucking, it's Batman now, Batman saves the world.
He does.
Oh, come on, dude. Like, I get that people are avid comic fans and all that sort of stuff, but I bet you, oh, yes, Alfred, pass me the bat weights. You know what I mean? He has to hang upside down to all those bits and pieces. Then when Alfred's not looking, he just goes, there's like a secret compartment in the weights. Straps him up. What's that around your arm, sir? Oh, it's strength resistance bands. That's what that is.
What's that needle you've just dropped by accident, sir?
Listen up, Mr. Emotions!
Evidence.
Like his hair goes, whoa! Like, whole Alpha's just like blowing backwards.
To be fair, yeah, to be the size he is, he more than likely is, because he's got a lot of shit to do. So I don't know how he finds time.
Or it's not actually steroids at all. It's like there's a blow up in the suit, like, and it makes him look massive. And he's like, "Yeah, Batman, I am fucking hench." When realistically, he's like, "Yeah, Batman, hooray! Don't hurt me. I know karate." Just blowing the suit up like. And then when Bane came along, he's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Someone stabs him in the suit.
Wait, you're not muscular at all. Oh, I found out my power. Bye.
But I am really rich. Bye.
Oddly, with the suit deflated, you look a lot like Bruce Wayne.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I think it's just got like a big blow up thing, and inside the suit it makes him look really massive and scary. And people are like, "Oh my God, no, don't hurt me!" And he has to deflate to get in the car. He has to like deflate really quickly to sit in the car. Like, there we are, perfect. I have the night. You are right. I was born it. Anyway,
You're really good.
Bollocks. And that Batman swearing. Fuck. Bollocks. I am Batman.
Holy fuck, Alfred.
You absolute dickskin. Sir, would you mind not using that language around me? Anyway, massively digressing. I took the piss out of you being a Batman fan, and yeah, I'm doing the quotes.
I know, yeah. No, I don't think you absolute dickskin is a Batman quote.
100% is. Alfred blanks it out himself. Anyway, we digress. What else, Jamie, is Callum teaching us in this week?
Learning how to write in cursive as a child is absolutely pointless.
It really is. Oh my God, yeah.
There's no one writing cursive anymore.
Yeah, and you have to follow the lines like, oh, you're kicking cur. It doesn't look like a kicking cur.
The curly cur, the kicking cur.
Sorry, the what? The kick, yeah, the kick, the what? Sorry, what are these? Do you mean STUVW? Like all of us normal people say? I wonder if anyone spoke like that. Opper nutter Ecke. Sorry? Operation? Where? What's going on?
I fucking hate phonics with a passion. Like, because you just have to like reverse your brain to try and help your kids, and I'm like, I don't know what this means. I'm so confused.
That's why I'm so happy I don't have any.
Here he goes.
I can imagine you going, yes, absolutely. K for shit, karate. T for tongue. You're one of those people.
I am. To be fair, there's a guy at work who used to be in the army, and every now and again when we say letters like that, it's supposed to be like A for alpha, B, or etc. I used to just say random words, and he used to piss himself laughing at me all the time when I used to do it. He's just like, "That's not what it is."
Then you get those absolute weapons that fucking think they're absolutely unbelievable when they do it.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh yes, Tango Remo, Tango Sierra, Alpha Delta, Juliet. quite. Yeah, squat and all that.
I watched a film about the army once. I can't.
Anyway, yes. So yeah, I forgot all about that in primary school. Yeah, I suppose obviously it's more for handwriting, isn't it, than it is for the actual. But yeah, you're kicking on your sir, perfect, sir. Huh? I remember being really fascinated in year 4 when I was leaving Germany, asking my teacher what her first name was. No idea why. Absolutely fascinated.
That was like the most empowering thing as a kid when you learn what your teacher's first name
I know her first name.
Come on, touch me. I know the teacher's name. I'm important. Oh, you know, fuck off.
I'm now the most popular child here. Lovely. Anyway, and finally, Jamie, what else is Callum teaching us this week?
There's deodorant companies out there that advertise their products last for 72 hours, yet most people wash it off after 24.
He has a point.
Yeah, who leaves their deodorant on for 72 hours?
I mean, I definitely don't.
No, nor me.
I think I don't understand why it's like, you know, all of these adverts are like, spray and you never have to spray again. Bullshit. Well, yeah, like I said about having a shower. So I'm not supposed to shower then, no?
No, you don't.
You know, with and I don't know what shaving is, but like with Gillette, it's like, oh, the shave's now even closer. You got no fucking skin left soon. It'd be like a skull. Like, that makes no sense. Why is it? It's even closer. How do you fucking know? Who's measuring it? We can only get the hair to about an inch. Is that okay? As it gets, it's like a centimeter, millimeter, etc. But now it's like, it's now 0.6 of a millimeter. We now need to get to 0.3. Is that achievable? It's like, what? Who cares? I just want to shave and be good. Do you know what I mean?
I just got images of the guys in the factories, like the guy shaves when he gets right up to his face with a magnifying glass. Like, no, closer, David, closer. It's not close enough.
These blades need to be sharper. But sir, if I should have, I said they need to be sharper. But you're going to say it's good. I don't give a shit, Dave. Fucking make them sharper. It needs to be closer. It's like, my plan. Gillette is there like, our plan is coming together. Soon people will have no faces. But I wonder if there's deodorant companies out there now going like, now you never have to spray ever again in your life because you're now deodorized forever. People walk past graveyards going, oh, got a nice smell of sandalwood and lilac. Where's that coming from? There's no one here.
This deodorant lasts 72 hours, so you can get away with having a shower for 2 days. Links.
Oh, that's when fucking Nivea for men go, 72? Fuck that. Try 360 hours. Yes, absolutely. With this new Nivea roll-on.
Lasts 1 month.
Roll-ons never feel like you've put it on. Do you know what I mean?
I've always been weird with that one. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I'm not a roll-on. Is roll-on more for women? I don't know.
No, I use a roll-on for the pits and a spray for the rest, but at the same time, the spray doesn't feel right there. But at the same time, rollable feel really weird at the same time.
It's like, if you want to do deodorant, use antiperspirant so you don't sweat and become Prince Andrew. So that's what he used. He's like, if I use Shaw for men, I'll be fine. Yes, I don't sweat at all.
What black book? I know nothing.
Come on. I says, did you cover me all, Charles? Yes. Hi. You sure? The back of there, lovely. Sure for men, excellent. 360, yes, perfect. Right. No, but the antiperspirant spray stuff. I don't sweat, I promise you. Try me.
Ask me anything. What island?
Absolute. I'm so sick of this country. Anyway. We need to be having them fucking conversations and not mollycoddle. Oh, because he has lots of money. Cunt. I mean, prick. Yeah. Anyway, since I could. Love that song. Let's do it earlier. Phenomenal. New Stained album. Excellent. Anyway, Jamie, Callum, thank you so much again for another absolutely perfect batch of Treachings we really enjoy. But, Jamie, I now have to follow.
Yeah, you do.
It's time for Tom's Journal.
Beat me.
And welcome to another edition of Tom's Journal. Jamie, seeing as you're the chef of the house, do you ever cook pasta and accidentally make a serving size for a family of 400?
Yep, every goddamn time.
It's always that thing where you put pasta in and go, I mean, it looks a lot, but is it? Better make sure. And then that's the extra bit. You're like, no!
Yeah. It's always the way, isn't it? Like, you feel like you've added an extra 2 strands, but really you've added an extra 200 strands.
Yeah. Game over.
Becky's the fucking worst for it. Like, we have enough pasta each to feed about a family of 4 because she just does not know how to portion control pasta ever.
Oh, yeah. Is this the helpline for alcoholics? Yes, sir, it is. Wonderful. How do I make a mojito?
Someone's got to have done that to take the piss. Someone has got to have done that.
100%. 100%. Hi, my name's Tom. I'm an alcoholic. Hi, Tom. Lovely. Does anyone know how to make a strawberry daiquiri?
Ooh, strawberry daiquiri.
They are great, to be fair. I'm not much of a cocktailman, but they're lovely.
Yeah.
And when they sugar the glass, like, nom, nom. Anyway, I wonder if people who cut hair ever finish up a haircut and are like, they're definitely crying in their car now. Oh, look who it is. It's that bitch who used to date my brother. I'll fucking cut her hair for her today.
I'm going to do it in the back.
Whoops!
I'm going to do it in the back, and then I'm not going to show her the back of her head with a mirror.
I can imagine this is going to be you in about 10 years. Bar the sport part. Dad, want to watch the baseball game with me? Teen daughter, no, I don't like baseball. Me, well, I didn't like Little Mermaid, but I watched that 1,387 fucking times. I'll go get your hat and jersey on.
Yes. Be more like, go get your Batman cowl on. Come on.
Yeah, probably. I like to watch fucking Trolls every day, 24 hours.
That's not even
you will.
That's not even a lie. I did at one point.
You will fucking watch Dark Knight. 24 hours.
Yes.
Until you turn 21, you little fuck. Struggling with sleep? Here's some little tips for you.
God.
Turn your phone off early. Have a nice, relaxing bath. Open the window. Help a raccoon climb through the window so you can watch Netflix together. This is a sleepover now. Make popcorn for the raccoon. Avoid caffeine.
That is not where I saw that going.
I love that you're like, oh, here comes a fucking dumbass thing again.
I thought I was expecting something really stupid. I was like, no, this is actually pretty good advice. Where is it? It's coming. I just know it's coming at some point.
Going back to school days again. When your teacher would go, when you write this essay, use your own words, don't copy the textbook. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Book. She was born in 1978. Me. 1978 is the year in which she was born.
We all did it. We all did it.
And I'll put my hand out. In year 9, I genuinely, when we did slavery, when we learned about slavery, I genuinely wrote in my textbook doing an essay in history about how the slaves worked their asses off, and I got absolutely bollocked. He'd circled it in massive red pen and written, no!
You actually wrote the slaves worked their asses off. You weren't wrong. They did.
I wasn't trying to be cool or anything. I just genuinely was like, well, they worked really hard, so they went, and then I got absolutely bollocked for it.
That is the best thing I've ever heard.
I wasn't trying to be a rebel. I wasn't trying to be cool. I was just genuinely like, well, no, they did, so I'm going to write it.
The best thing ever.
Oh. Every time, Jamie, we try to eat healthy, along comes fucking Christmas or Easter or summer or Friday or Tuesday, and it just ruins it for us.
So I'm trying to diet and eat healthy at the minute, and they've just brought in one of my favourite fucking Christmas chocolates, and I'm like, no, I must resist you. Oh,
what's that?
Snowballs. Oh, I love them.
Yeah, I love that people are like, it's Christmas, so I can eat what I like, thank you. It's New Year, so I can eat what I like, thank you. It's the Jesus' birthday, so I can eat what I like. Like, dude, just fucking stop. If you want to eat what you want. You don't have to explain yourself. It's fine. Just enjoy your life.
Yeah.
If this water is so smart, how did it end up getting trapped in a bottle? Stupid idiot water.
And there's the dumbass entrance of the week.
Welcome to the dumbass entrance of the week.
Oh, that's fucking brilliant.
Oh, well, look who came by for a little sucky. Vampire, don't say it like that. Couple more. Okay, now these are great. Because I read them and go, save that, and I forget all about them, so I come back, I'm like, oh yeah, these are great. Fucking shopping or groceries, whatever you call them, are so melodramatic when you're driving home, aren't they? I took a left turn, and it's fucking drop kick you across the back seat. Chill out.
I love that when you're driving, you hear the shopping going, oh, I wonder what that was.
It's when it makes that really loud noise, you go, bollocks, that was the wine, wasn't it? Or that was the glass, or something glass related and liquidy that's going to go fucking everywhere.
Yeah. I wonder if the bread's okay.
At what age do you get those rails added to the sides of the toilet to help you get up? Is it 37? I feel like it's 37.
It should be.
It's that Jason Bourne joke where he's somehow having a poo. He's like, I sat there having a poo, and then my knee fell off. He dislocated his knee having a shit, and he couldn't get up.
What?
Genuine story.
Fucking brilliant.
Any wedding can be a fairy tale wedding, Jamie. Provided you serve porridge and release 3 angry bears into the reception hall.
I like that.
And finally, in the NFL a few years back, Jay Cutler passed physical and is officially a Dolphin. And someone wrote, if football didn't exist, this would be a way cooler tweet. And that was another edition of Tom's Journal.
I understood that reference. I'm so proud.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Oh, that was brilliant.
It's about getting into schools and talking to young people because, you know, I know that people can change. And it's about talking to people and getting them to understand and perhaps step back from violence and prejudice and whatever. And we just need to work together and keep on the good fight there.
Absolutely. Hey there, guys. We are ecstatically happy to announce that we are associated with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
The times are changing, and with the unfortunate death of Sophie, those changes have made a massive impact for the future. If Sophie was with us still today, I can guarantee what you are doing will still be reaching so many lives of young teenagers, young adults, and those who wish to be as different as possible. So thank you very much.
To find out more about this incredible foundation and all the work they do, and more importantly, how you can help, head on over to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com.
Mr. Stevens.
Ooh. Jamie, 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 oh, Jamie.
It's an audience participation time.
Oh, wonderful. And the fat controller said, participate, bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to participate in Jamie's participation challenge.
I got it right this week. It was Thomas the Tank Engine. This week I said, knock, knock. Who's there? It's audience participation time. It's been a while since we got you to make us laugh. So how about we kick it old school with a good old-fashioned knock, knock joke? This week, we ask quite simply, what's your favourite knock-knock joke? What say you, Mr. Stevens?
Oh, I was going to use, it's not a knock-knock joke, though. Never mind. This one is, knock-knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Orange glad didn't say banana. South Park reference, motherfucker.
Yes.
Orange glad didn't say boo. Orange glad didn't say boo. Orange glad didn't say boo. Say banana. But I was going to do the fish sticks one, but it's not a knock-knock joke.
Ah.
Yeah. Well, you're a gay fish. I'm not a fucking gay fish.
Don't you know that I'm a gay fish?
Oh, what a tune.
Oh. So I can't read mine because it's in here. Someone's actually given it as an answer, so I'll say it's my favourite when we do it. Lisa Sobis. Knock, knock. You're going to have to do who's there. Oh, yeah, you're going to have to do who's there.
I had to participate in your challenge. You must be fucking joking. Who's there, Jamie?
Boo.
Oh. Boo-hoo.
Oh, don't cry.
Boring.
Joe Goodchild. Knock knock.
Who's there, Jamie?
Figs.
Figs who?
Figs.
Figs who?
Figs your doorbell. I've been knocking for ages.
This is gonna. Yeah. Okay. Next.
We're gonna find one.
No, we won't.
Michelle Evans. Knock knock.
Who's there, Jamie?
Nonya. Sorry.
Oh, none you.
None your business.
Oh God, this is gonna be so painful.
John Miles. I'll just have to end this one myself. Knock knock. Come in. Yeah. Nice and simple. Nice and simple. Robbie Williams. Wait. Oh, he's one of these, is he? Why did the chicken cross the road?
What?
Why did the chicken cross the road?
I thought it was not that jokes.
It is. To get to the other side. Knock knock.
Who's that? What? Who's there?
KFC delivery.
Huh?
Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. Knock knock.
That one is massively lost on me. Sorry about that.
Yeah. I'll give you a couple more.
I can hear the listeners now going, boo, hiss, boo, hiss.
Give you a couple more. Mally Malpass. Here he is with my favourite one. Knock knock.
Who's that?
The interrupting cow.
Oh, God. The interrupting cow.
No, nothing. Not a titter.
Oh, dude, come on. Like, can we be really fucking honest here?
Ryan Williams will see us out here because in Ryan fashion, he's got tons of us for us. Tons of us for us. Tons of them for us. Here we go, Ryan. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Water.
Water who?
What are you doing asking me all these questions? Just let me in. I'm determined to see if you laugh.
Do you know what would be really funny if it actually turned into an ABBA song?
If what?
Water who can? I mean, I think that'd be even better. Never mind. Carry on.
That is a good one. I might have made you laugh for that one. Knock knock.
Who's that?
Weirdo.
Weirdo who?
Where do you think we're going?
It's a poor, dude. So poor.
Knock,
I hate that you've done this week. Fucking hate it. Who's there?
Anita.
Anita who?
I need to use the bathroom. Let me in. Oh, I thought that was really close to the titter then. I thought close to the titter.
A fucking rage.
Knock knock.
Who's fucking there?
Ice cream.
Oh God, ice cream who?
I scream so you can hear me through the door.
Dude, this is so bad.
Oh God, one of these is so bad. I'm saving that to last. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Nobel.
Nobel who?
Nobel, that's why I knocked.
How many more there? Can we get through this, please?
Last
this is
one.
painful.
Last one now, and it is possibly the worst one out of the lot. No, my luck is going to want to make you laugh. Knock knock.
Who's that?
Alec.
Alec who?
Electricity. Bzzz. Fuck's sake.
So if you enjoy our... Thank you to everyone that participated. I really, really wish you hadn't. Oh, God, that was atrocious. Please never do that ever again.
It was going to end one of two ways. It was either they were going to be brilliant and made us laugh, or they were going to be this. And I actually kind of glad it ended up this way.
But thank you to everyone that participated in Jamie's challenge, as much as I fucking hated it this week. We really appreciate it when you did participate. It means the world to us. So thank you so much to everyone that got involved. If you do enjoy Jamie's participation challenge, Tom's journal, Callum's Treachings, the shit we talk after before. Sorry, let me start that again. The shit we talk after the interview or the interview itself, then you enjoy the other 102 editions of the Chronicles of Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts from, whether it be Google, Spotify, Apple, literally any platform, we're there. You can also come to our hub we really like you to come to is our YouTube channel at the Chronicles of Podcast. Make sure you press that subscribe button. That is the most important button on the whole page that you could push before you watch anything, is hit subscribe. It would be absolutely unbelievable. Literally, make that noise at the same time. Hit the bell to get notified whenever, so you can start that again. Oh my God, I'm tripping over my... Because you've been annoyed with this knock shit, and my brain's just like, who's there? Sorry, boys and girls, I do apologize. But come to our YouTube, press the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified when new videos are released, and comment to your heart's content. It would mean the fucking world. So on our YouTube channel, you can find all of our shows are on here. All of our interviews are on here. All of our Bloodstock interviews of 2000. Oh my God. All of our Bloodstock interviews from 2022 and 2023 are on there. Our Bloodstock vlog from last year is on there. Our Dublin Crust vlog is on there. Our 2000 Trees interviews are on there from this year. Our hashtag WBW way back Wednesdays are on there as well. There is so much content in there for you to enjoy. It's unreal. Over 400 interviews and videos and shows. It's just nuts. There's so much. You could literally be there for a good, I imagine, half a year. You can also come down to our Facebook page at the Chronicles of Podcast. Make sure you hit that like button and share it everywhere to get everybody coming down. We've got a live show coming up soon, November 22nd at Subside in Birmingham. Please, it's free entry. It's for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Come on down. We want to see you there. Subside Birmingham, Wednesday 22nd, 5 p.m. doors open. Get your asses down there. It'd be great to see so many of you come and attend and raise so much money for these wonderful people right here. While I'm thinking about it, where else can you find us, Jay?
You can find us listening to Auger's brand new single Before It Began, because it's an absolute belter.
Or on our Twitter/X at TCO Pod. Whilst you listen to Auger's brand new single Before It Began and on our Twitter/X, where else could you find us?
Thinking of all the knock jokes you can possibly think of.
Definitely not doing that. Be on our Instagram at TCO Pod. Follow us on TikTok at TCO Pod. We've got loads more videos coming out at the moment on there. Go and find Jamie's Chesney Hawks video. Come and follow us on LinkedIn at the Chronicles of Podcast. Connect with us on there. Or come on down to our beautifully sexy, brand spankingly beautiful and wonderful little website at www.thechroniclesofpodcast.com. I will get through this, I'll fucking the rest of it up, I promise you. Sorry, it's late, boys and girls, all right? It's late, that's all I'm saying. All of our episodes and shows are on there, all about us on there. All of our sponsors and affiliations on there. And obviously, as Jamie posted on our socials yesterday, our shop is on there as well. Come and get yourself some TCO Pod merch. It would be amazing. Amazing. You can get your own journal. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, follow us on all the social medias at TCO Pod, and subscribe to us on YouTube at the Chronicles of Podcast. It would mean everything to us, and we'd really, really, really appreciate it. I do believe, guys and girls and everybody else, that Jamie's got something he wants to say.
I do. I have 3 things that I want to say. And those 3 things are massive thank yous to our friends who help us every single week to give you this show. First and foremost, a massive thank you to the man that delivers every single piece of music that you hear on this show, the incredibly talented singer-songwriter Matt Roberts. Go check him out on all social media platforms at Matt Roberts Music. Make sure you're subscribing to him on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your music from. Making sure you are checking out his latest single, Rat Race. We know that more music is on the way from Matt, and we cannot wait to hear it. So a massive thank you to you, Mr. Roberts. And of course, we have to say a massive thank you to Mr. Braden Barry and his Stay Cozy Clothing. Head on over to www.staycozyclothing.com or download the smartphone app. As Mr. Stevens alluded to earlier, everything's been condensed. It's been beautified and sexified, and there's some amazing new hoodies. Make sure you go check them out right now. And anything you like the look of, it could be this t-shirt. It could be that hat that Tom's wearing right there. It could be those hoodies that we just mentioned. It could be those mugs, those beautiful mugs. Whatever it is, stick them in your basket and then enter that discount code, The Chronicles, and get yourself 10% off your order. A little present from Mr. Barry to yourselves just for being fans of this show. And last but not least, a massive thank you to the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. They are stamping out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. And I mean everywhere, because what happened to Sophie is not a UK issue. It is a global issue. And it is an issue that continues to happen today. When we spoke to people at 2000 Trees, we spoke to people at Bloodstock, we're still hearing stories of people being treated differently because of the way they dress, the music they listen to, whatever it may be. So let's work with them and work together to put an end to this and to make sure the correct level of punishment happens to the people that do think it's acceptable. Again, a massive thank you to this week's guest, Kyle, a member of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation family. The work you are doing is absolutely incredible, sir, and it was an honour to hear all about your journey with the foundation. The Bloodstock vlog from this year, I am working on it. I'm very, very sorry about the delay, but it is on its way, and I hope to get out to you guys as soon as possible. There's some incredible stuff in there. And yeah, a massive thank you to the foundation. Go on to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com, give that a share it out so people who aren't familiar with Sophie's story are, and then they can help us achieve what we're setting out to achieve. And last but not least, a massive thank you to my wonderful co-host there.
Oh yeah, thanks very much. Graciously appreciated again. Kyle, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was absolutely great to have you. Thank you for taking the time out. Like Jamie said, it was wonderful to hear your journey and all about your story with the foundation and with your band Auger. You can all go listen now. You can all go because we're close. We're shutting this down now. I'm just going to announce next week's guest, and you can go enjoy Auger. So, Jamie, another absolutely phenomenal episode, my friend.
Indeed, it was very much enjoyed.
Absolutely, very excited for next week.
Oh
yes. As for this week, we will see you all next week for the Chronicles of Ethan Lawrence 2, or as he likes to call it, Ethan Lawrence Part 2.
Part 2. Absolutely incredible. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.